on Out of the Abyss, or rather, Can You Defend the World, which, is set in the backdrop of Out of the Abyss. You guys had nearly gotten into Neverlight Grove when one of your party did something really stupid, although I think the rest of you, at least in character, are unaware of the stupidity that he caused.
We know nothing.
All you know for certain is that one of the sovereigns in the Neverlight Grove decided that you guys were enemies, and you guys ran away. Which was good, because there was all these awakened Zerkerwoods kind of wandering around and ready to kill. But anyway, outside of that, you guys took care of an Alpha Grick. You made a new friend in the form of of this really weird spellcasting orc that lived underground. That supposedly belonged to a society called the Society of Brilliance. And they agreed to help you get a boat. They kind of teleported away somewhere, and when after that happened, another wave of madness kind of came through the area. And several of you were affected. Excuse me.
All was fine.
Yes, so, do you guys remember how long each of the affections was for?
Mine was 4 hours, I think.
Alright.
I think mine. I rolled a 6, so I guess 6 hours.
What kind of madness? Do you remember? Do you remember if it was indeterminate or?
He was
One-
incapacitated.
100. 100, and it was 6, so whatever that has in reference to sleeping.
Unfortunately, they're all 100, so.
So, if I remember correctly, I think
No, I mean, I
Afnar,
rolled 100.
it was 60, and then you
Oh,
told me
yeah.
4,
Yeah, it
but
was
I
60.
believe mine was also long-term, so I need to do 40, not 4.
Yeah.
I believe that was what it was.
I think mine was a shorter one because mine just had the urge to eat dirt.
Yeah, I was paralyzed for like 8 or 10 minutes or something.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Because I think the dirt one's like a short term, if I remember right.
So,
Yeah, you're right.
who is currently conscious?
Me.
I'm
I'm perfectly
not.
fine.
And
Okay.
just sitting still.
Char has not
Eating dirt.
got any madness.
Good for
We can fix that.
good for druids.
Please don't.
So at any rate, as you're sitting there watching your friends kind of devolve into madness, and two of them have fallen unconscious, and one of them's eating dirt at the moment, there is a slight shift in the air, and several figures pop in, carrying two decently sized boats between them. It looked like it required a bit of a party to haul these out for you. They are actually quite unusual to look at. I mean, you already met Blurg, the orc guy, but along with this guy is a weird gray-skinned creature with kind of spikes running down the side of it, the middle of its head and on the sides. What is clearly a tentacle-headed being that is bound to shake some of you to the core just by looking at it. Another one is another one of those fishy-looking people, kind of like the fish people that you met at that one place where Demigorgon emerged. You know who I'm talking about, don't you?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, but each of them is holding a side of one of the boats and is carrying it over, kind of putting it into the water. When Blurg kind of looks back at you and says, I'm taking it, and one of those waves of madness came through here while I was away.
Char just looks back at the group. It's like, yeah, you'd be right.
The pink-skinned one with the tentacled face kind of looks over at Blurg and starts talking in Undercommon. Do you speak Undercommon, yes? Oh, wait, no, that's
Yeah.
Char speaking. Oh, yeah. Char, you do speak Undercommon?
Yeah.
Sorry. It's like, you kind of hear him say, well, we've done what we can for them. If they are fighting against the demons that have incurred further into the Underdark, they're going to need all the help they can get. Hopefully they won't run into anything too significant before those ones, and you see it gesture towards the unconscious members of your party. Wake up. there is likely to be trouble down the tunnels. And then
Oh.
Blur kind of looks over at you guys and says in common, so, whenever you're ready to leave, unfortunately you will need at least 2 people rowing.
Me good at boat.
Yes, that's good. That's good.
I can row.
The slightly shorter gray-skinned one kind of makes a chuckling noise, and kind of looks around at you guys, and then kind of like leans over towards the tentacled one and starts whispering something. All right. So after that, the Orag kind of nods again and says, "All right. Well, we do need to get going. We've got more problems with these demon lords coming through. The minor demons were one thing. They showed up in the Underdark every once in a while, but the big ones." He kind of shakes his head. "Yes, we've got a lot of planning to do. Good luck on your trip to Bundenstone."
Thank you, and good luck on your travels.
He nods, and the 4 of them kind of evaporate again.
Is that all in Undercommon, by the way?
Blurg was speaking in common to you. The tentacled one was actually speaking in Undercommon. And then the gray one was whispering.
What do?
Put the boats in the water. Make way for the city.
Put all of the unconscious people on the boat.
Oh yeah, that's probably important too.
That's safe.
I mean, unless you want to leave them here.
I don't feel like leaving them here is a good idea.
Neither do I.
No.
So the only conscious people right now are Lancelot, Eminette, and Char?
Kurt is also.
And the NPCs.
Okay.
So I believe the NPC... What did I roll for the NPCs? Hold on. Oh, yeah, Jim Jar failed his wisdom save, that's right. Oh, but isn't he just laughing? Yeah, I seem to recall
He's
him.
saying-
Just being a smartass or something.
Yeah,
Everything's a joke.
That's just kind of normal for him,
Yeah.
so it's hard to tell that he's got any more mad.
So he's fine
Jim
then.
Jar's just kind of laughing. Yeah. Those guys were kind of freaky. Did you see the mind flare? Yeah. That mind flare was so funny looking. Yeah. I'm
What?
surprised he didn't try to eat any of our brains.
What's a mind
Some-
flare?
Oh, that tentacled guy. Yeah. That was a mind flare.
Being a wanderer of the Underdark, would I know what a mind flare is?
Roll a history check.
Oh, history. I have a +0.
Could Amunet do Arcana for that
Sure.
at all?
Yeah, Kurt, you remember that about mind flayers as much as mind flayers are some of the most terrible things in the
Nope.
Underdark you can run into,
Wow.
and best to be avoided at all costs. Other than that, you kind of think that they eat brains, and that's about it.
They're missing out on eating brains.
You know,
Emunet, for some reason, you have no idea what a mind flayer is.
She shrugs.
you ever
and
have a-
goes to pick somebody up.
you ever have a jawbreaker where you just kind of like in your cheek?
Hmm.
He's got a rock in his mouth like that now.
And Jim Jar just
Lancelot.
over towards Emunet, points at Jim Jar, points at Lancelot and says, "Hey, I bet he's gonna break his tooth. I bet he's gonna break his tooth. 5 gold, 5 gold."
Lancelot, stop. No, I'm not betting. Stop. Don't put the rock in your mouth. Oh, help me with Af. What the fuck is this guy's name? Af.
Oh, he's a strong guy. He's a strong guy. That's all.
Yeah, help me put him in the boat.
I left one of them up and put him in a boat.
So yeah,
Let's get these people on the boat.
She'll
the rest of
spend
the
time
team
doing
is
that.
kind of like split between the boats and like For expedience sake, the NPCs pretty much all get into one boat, and the PCs are all in another boat. The NPCs, since Jim Jar's in there, and Jim Jar says he knows the way to his hometown from here, is taking the lead in that boat. So, who would like to be keeping watch on the sides of things? Right now, the corridor is about, I want to say, 20 feet wide at the widest. And unfortunately, there isn't much of a current here, so somebody's going to be rowing all the time. And the lead boat, Volt and Megan are actually doing the rowing. Who's going to be rowing for your boat?
Do you need one or two?
Should probably be two, although maybe if the bugbear wants to take it all on his own, he can.
You can roll if at least one.
Alright. Kurt will keep watch.
Yeah, a child will also keep watch.
I guess I can row on the other one then. It's not good, but she can try.
Alright. So, roll me a 1d4.
Who? Everybody? What?
Whoever's... Oh, okay. The lead rower in that one should probably be the big guy. Alright, 2. Okay. Wait, weren't you... I mean, weren't you... Which madness were you struck with?
I have to do something constantly, so I'm summoning and unsummoning my arrows.
Okay, cool. And which two were unconscious?
Athnar and somebody else.
Oh, it was probably Loyal.
One of the
Howland.
NPCs.
No, it's probably Loyal
Was it an
Howland. It might have been an NPC. I'm sorry. I really meant to listen to it beforehand, but I got caught up in something when I got home from the. I hate when that happens. You know. I know that happens to all of us, but yeah, I really hate it when that happens to me.
16 wisdom save, so that wouldn't be long term. I don't.
Well, Holly had a 12.
Yeah, I think it was an NPC.
Yeah, so I guess Holly is unconscious. Oh no, wait. Yeah, Megan was hit by something too, wasn't she?
Mm-hmm.
She had a 14.
God damn it! Why the frick did I not write this down? I thought I had.
I can go do it real quick. Hold on.
Nah. No, I was gonna go with 2 days go by, which means whoever rolled that 60 on the unconscious is still unconscious.
Well, that I think is Athnar.
Yeah.
In that case, Kurt, don't really like Afnar, but he's gonna keep him alive. He's gonna feed him stuff, help him chew. Actually, never
Like
mind.
a baby bird. Like
Yeah, he's
a
going
mom
to
feeding
chew
a
it
baby
himself and it's spitting his mouth.
Oh my god.
I love it. I love that imagery.
Nobody else.
And crap.
Weirdly enough, this is not the first game
The
this
stream
happened.
just saw my notes from OneNote for a completely different campaign on the NPCs. I opened it up, but... Oh, well.
Tell us your secrets. Share it with us.
I only show some NPC secrets, not so much. I was just opening it up because I needed to get into writing down how many days had gone by. I've been keeping track of that. We're now up to 58 days since the escape, which now only has significance to one character in the party, Kurt.
Hello!
NPCs. But anyway, so 2 days go by. You've been traveling steadily on the river. Rowing. You can only really row for 8 hours at a time, and then you need to take a break and sleep. Thankfully, the water's pretty stagnant, so you're not really drifting anywhere. But it is, fairly quiet in there. It's dark.
There's Loyal.
Hey, Loyal. Oh, no, wait, I don't see him on here. It's fairly dark except whatever light sources you guys have. The boat in front of you, at the very least, has torches because they've got humans, rowing and everything like that. What about you guys? Do you guys have any light sources on your boat?
I have dark vision.
I
Yeah,
have
dark
torches.
vision as well.
But I don't. I have.
Do we really need torches?
Who needs this? Who needs torches?
You know.
So, at this point, towards the end of the second day, you kind of come around a bend in the water, rowing, and you see that the other boat in front of you has stopped because the passage has split into two different directions ahead of you, kind of in a tuning fork sort of thing. And Jim Jar kind of looks around and looks out between the two and looks back at you guys and says, I don't remember there being two ways here, but I think they both go to Blendenston, yeah? Yeah, I don't know which way to go. What about you guys? What do you guys think? Which way should we go? Huh?
Survival.
You gaze at the tunnel in the water and listen to what Jim Jar has told you, and you can see no significant difference between the two passageways.
I'm gonna try as well, but I'm going to.
There's a left-hand one and a right-hand one.
Sir Lancelot just licks his finger, sticks it in the air.
I'm 18.
No significant difference between the two.
But Kurt would be able to tell because he can't get lost, so he would know the way around.
Well,
no, he
both
hasn't
of
been here
them.
before. Plus, they both go to the same place.
Yeah,
There's just
the same place.
Oh, that's loyal.
We
They're-
can't
they're
get
just-
lost.
Yeah, he can't get lost, but he's never been to Blendenston.
Gotcha.
I'll find my way back here easily, but
Yeah.
No.
So if we go the wrong way, we can find our way back.
Yes,
Exactly.
exactly. You won't walk into two dead ends with me.
Well, somebody flip a coin.
No, left. It's obvious.
Always go left.
Me.
Always go left.
Jim Jar kind of looks left and says, "Is that the way you want to go? Okay, we can go left. What do you guys think? Going left?
Left good.
Left good. Amonette would steer the boat to the left.
All right, left it is. And Jim Jar looks at it, his two guys, and everybody heads left.
I'm sorry if I killed us all.
It's so well you swim.
Another day comes by, and finally, people that went unconscious are now awake.
When do we get on the boat?
Boat.
A while ago, actually.
Kurt is sitting above you, chewing something.
There is also a very strange taste in your mouth currently.
Looking over the side of the boat.
Oh no, all my hard work.
So you're currently on a boat. Okay, I've already described that to you since you're there, but for Loyal's benefit, Athnar, as you wake up, you find you're on the second of two boats, kind of towards the rear. Kurt is kind of standing over you at the moment, looking down at you. Sir Lancelot and what was it, Amunettes are handling the steering.
Yep.
I think Lancelot's solo on one, and then I'm doing it with somebody else on the other, and that's what I thought.
No, there's in the front hand boat, Megan and Volt are.
Oh, okay. Then yeah, I'm
are
with
doing
Lancelot.
that, and you guys are Lancelot and Amunet are doing that. So yeah,
Cool.
Alright, just doing that. Alright, cool. So yeah, you guys are in there. You're on the water. You just kind of the passageway here. As you're drifting by, it's like you hear whoosh, whoosh noises as each of the oars go through. The passageway seems to be widening significantly. the water's just kind of pouring out a bit, widening out a bit. So rather than being pinched off at about 20 feet, you're more like 50-some feet across. The water itself is, let's see, it's about... Oh, no, wait, it's more than that. Sorry, the waterway itself is about 70 feet across, and then on either side, you seem to be opening up into, instead of, like, sheer walls, you're seeing gaps and spaces. Actual, places that you could easily, set up and, land and, camp for the night. Oh, of course, it's not, night. Underground, you can't tell that anyway. But, none of you are really tired. It's kind of like midday on this new day. But everything's getting wider. You see, stones. You see ground. You see walls far off.
It's just gonna take a look around just to see if there's anything hiding above on the side. She's just gonna do a look-see around.
All right.
Yeah,
roll a
sure.
perception check.
Sean wants to have a look around as well, just be safe.
I feel like Sir Lancelot is, but he's not necessarily like he's just looking.
Yeah, certainly that's kind of.
That is accurate.
Yeah, that's a 10. So that's accurate.
Yeah, Eminet's doing the same. And I'm like, she's got 11, so.
Efnor is playing sea shanties on a pan flute.
Okay.
I have such great perception, yet I rolled a 13. I'm disappointed in myself.
But we have excellent tunes, so it's all good.
May I help you, Axel? May I help you? You're
Everything
still
okay over there, Loyal?
Uh-huh. Hello?
Hello.
Can you hear us?
Hello.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Kinda.
Hold on. Alright, can you hear me?
Yep.
Can
Yeah.
hear you.
Mm-hmm.
Alright.
So, Chris, what's gonna upturn our...
I'm just double checking on something. Hold on.
Axel, look, get off of my keyboard, damn it.
No.
I knew I saw it somewhere.
Damn it, Evil. Get off the keyboard.
Axel. I know you want attention, but I'm doing something right now.
What you doing? Just paying attention to him.
Oh no.
Uh-oh.
And
Laughing.
there's that lovely
is
laugh that
everyone
we
is-
all know.
Chris.
Yes, we're all
Chris.
awake.
Chris, isn't the evil thing persuaded and calmed by the soothing music of sea shanties?
No, I don't know. Maybe we need to hear a sea shanty to figure it out.
I'm on the pan flute. I can't sing.
So as you guys are looking around and not seeing too much, you're just seeing rocks. You're seeing various rocky formations and all that. When suddenly out from the darkness, tendrils whip out and grab at Char, Sir Lancelot, and Kurt.
Uh-oh.
What?
Each of you needs to roll a strength saving throw right now.
Oh. I grabbed it instead.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sir Lancelot, the tendril of the dark tries to grab you out, but it fails. Whereas Char and Kurt, you both have tentacles just wrapped around your midsection all of a sudden, and you're yanked off the boat.
I'm
Oh.
going. I think we're
Joy.
having Calamari tonight.
Okay, hold on. I have to roll strength saving throws for some of my NPCs now. Because at the same time, ahead of you, Emunet and Draco, you notice that tendrils are also whipping out at the boat in front of you from something else on the other side of the shore. From a completely different source from the one that just grabbed Kurt and Char.
She'll alert the other boat. She'll say, "Watch out!"
Because this is happening basically at the same time.
Oh, okay.
Oh. I'm sorry. Give me a second. My cat is being extra annoying today.
Aw.
Alright,
Adios, Jim Jar.
Come here.
Okay, so Holly
Oh,
somehow
yeah.
managed to just shrug it off. I don't. She must be. This is because she's protected by the divine. But I'm just gonna go with that. She's just, protected by the powers that be, the strength of above. But Jim Jar, yes, you see Jim Jar suddenly get They get yanked off his boat.
To the shore.
Now you can see the things that are gathering at the shore with the tentacles coming off of them. These large, these large stalagmite type forms that suddenly have a glowing eye in the center of them, staring out at you in huge, hungry mouths.
Oh, I know what these are.
I would like you all to roll for initiative.
Oh boy.
Oh no.
Yes.
I don't like these guys. They're not fun.
Going to smack one of them a lot.
Oh, you should have seen what I had planned on the other. If you'd gone down the other way.
Ooh.
Oh, we wouldn't, Chris. We wouldn't like to.
What is up with the initiative on the...
Rovers can barely move.
Good thing.
But they
Maybe
had a,
we'll kill it like the dragon.
But they had a surprise round and are currently grappling three characters. So.
Are these considered Fey, Fiend, or Undead?
No.
What,
Cool.
Are they considered aberrations?
No.
Are they considered?
Mm-hmm.
Only time will
What? I'm
tell.
sorry.
Considered soon to be dead.
Possibly.
Well, they'll be considered dead in a minute.
I just realized I
All
forgot
right.
to pull out the rest of the character sheets for these guys. Yay! Lots of
Please save me.
NPCs.
Oh, okay. I was worried for a second. I was like, oh shit, more than ropers were fucked.
It'll be fine. It'll be fine.
Yeah, it's not like they already have half the party grappled and possibly drowning.
Are there any tentacles near me?
No.
Damn.
Yeah, and remember, you're on the water, so, yeah. You have no idea how deep that is. Char and Kurt are basically being pulled across the water at the moment. As is Jim Jar. So Megan sees the thing that, stops the paddling, sees the thing that's gotten a hold of Jim Jar, gets to the side of the boat, pulls out her bow and arrow, and attempts to make an attack. Where's her bow? There's short bow. Which misses. Does she have extra attack? Oh no, that's right. No, she doesn't, because she's a friggin' multi thingy. She grimaces, just holding her bow and arrow. Oops. Athnar's turn's next.
Efnar will just look at this guy and be like, I don't like it. Let's see if we can make some sushi. And I'm gonna cast Cloud of Daggers.
Okay. So this ignores AC and everything?
I'm pretty sure it does.
Yep.
60 feet. Okay. And it's a cube.
Yeah, just right on his face. Just
Or 5 foot
right
cube,
on his.
rather.
Is it concentration?
I think it is.
Alright.
It probably is.
I'm gonna put a concentration marker on that. And let's see. Let's see, a 5 foot cube. Okay. Currently centered on this thing, so I will draw a square of 5 feet. And that starts on its turn, or when it casts a spell?
It should say.
And when it's its first time in there, or starts its turn there. Yep.
Okay, so it takes 11 points of damage right now. Got it.
And then again on its turn, I think.
Yeah, then you'll need to roll
And,
again on its turn.
And I'm gonna duck in here. It's not gonna do anything. I'm just ducking.
Alright. Let's see. Holly Holly,
Goose.
bats at the tentacle that tried to grab her. Sees Jim Jar get pulled off. Let's see, what's Holly going to do other than shout, Jim Jar, hold on. She is going to cast Spiritual Weapon at level 2.
Ooh, boy.
In the shape of a sword that's glowing. Send it directly at the roper.
Been 3 days, so I don't think so.
Yeah, he's not laughing anymore. He's kind of crying out, "Nah!" Let's see. I forgot to check that was. I'm getting used to what is concentration and what isn't on these things. At least I'm trying to. Yeah, it's not concentration. Excellent. So yeah, that gets sent out right at that, and you can see that it starts carving up the roper. You hear kind of coming from the direction of that creature. Volt also bats away the tentacle that was trying to grab him. Looks out at Jim Jar and says, "Ugh." And let's see, what will he do? He looks over at the roper that's over there and casts Magic Missile. Let's see. Magic Missile, that is 3 missiles, yes. So, I'm just going to fix the stats on this thing so I don't have to keep re-rolling it every time. And he's just going to send it out right at the thing. For 9 points of damage. See the missiles just kind of launch from his fingers and one by one smash into this thing's face. Amunette.
She's going to arrow across the tongue, and she's going to activate her bow right at the storm. And then she's going to take 2 shots at this ripper over here. Yeah, that's the whole thing. I need to shorten it. Yeah.
Alright, just making sure.
Hold on.
That's a miss, and that's a miss. Basically, aim your crossbow out at it, fire your spectral bolts, and see them just fall short right into the water.
Cool.
In fact, at this distance, you'd be firing at disadvantage anyway.
Well, I can scoot up.
Yeah. There you go. But even so, that's still a miss.
Yeah, that's fine.
And that's still a disadvantage from that distance, unfortunately. You're kind of a little bit away from the shore. You can also
Why is that at disadvantage?
30 foot.
She's 30 feet away.
Yeah, okay. I thought I saw 35. No, yes, that is 30. Good. You could also spend a turn attempting to maneuver the boat if anybody wants to. Like Sir Lancelot could try, for example. Jim Jar just starts screaming, "Ah! Get it off! Get it off! Get it off! This isn't fun! No, this is not fun! What am I doing? He kind of looks at the roper and just kind of points a finger and says, and says, "You're so ugly. What'd you do? Fall off the ceiling?" Oh God, these things are actually pretty wise. I failed though.
Not wise enough.
And the roper is not happy about that. Spiritual weapon, but it did take some psychic damage from his mockery. Grishtrap is also kind of freaking out at this and like running over towards the side, even though Holly's saying, "No, Grishtrap, don't get so close," and is looking over at her at her friend, and it's like, you just see her kind of standing there, staring out at Jim Jar, and seems to be like, she seems to be focusing right on the tendril and doing something, but it's really difficult to tell what it is she's doing. Let's see here.
I like the fact that we all have 7.16 as our initiative.
Yeah.
Yeah, that actually is very odd. Very odd statistic.
We are very similar.
Oh, I forgot to hit those. she's like staring right at the tentacle, you suddenly see a strange aura just suddenly burst on the particular tentacle that the roper has. It's holding on to Jim Jar. And all of a sudden, the roper lets out another cry. The tentacle just kind of partially disintegrates, and Jim Jar falls into the water. He goes, yeah, yep, and splash, right into the water. Hello, Max. And Griswold just kind of starts heaving her breath a little bit, looking at the tentacle that's disintegrated, looking down at Jim Jar, and it's like, just heaving, breathing heavily as he's watching this happen. Char, what would you like to do?
Alright, so I need the GM's opinion on this. So if I change into a smaller creature,
Okay.
would that get me free from the tentacles?
If you still have to try to roll, but you probably have to get to roll at advantage to attempt to escape.
For instance, like a crab.
I'm sorry, what?
I pinch.
Yes.
A crab.
That's how you said crab for a second.
Pinchy.
So yeah, I'm gonna shapeshift into a crab. Best bet I have.
Now the water's like still and calm, right? It's not like a
Yeah,
flowing
it's still
river.
calm.
Okay. So swimming wouldn't be hard. Just half movement. Or
So in this
movement.
case, you get a advantage on this dexterity saving throw as a crab. What's the stats for a crab?
I have no idea.
Oh, we're gonna have to find that out. Dungeon Master.
To the compendium.
That's right. Compendium! To the compendium! Crab.
Crab.
+0.
Oh.
+0 to your dexterity check. So just roll
But can breathe water, so
Yeah, that's why I changed it to a crab, because like we can breathe underwater.
Okay, so just roll a 2d20. You have advantage, so whichever's higher. And unfortunately,
Wow.
unfortunately the thing just tightens around you, and the crab is still restrained. Sir Lancelot, what would you like to do?
To get like here, would I be just 10 feet of my movement because I'm jumping off the boat?
You're jumping into the water?
Yeah, and then into the water.
Yeah, that end right there, that's just the side of the boat. Any closer, you're in the water.
So I go in there. Now it's like 10 feet, right?
It's, yeah. So you jump in, and you sink. And you sink. And you sink. You're kind of deep at the moment, and you can't even see as you look up. Even with your dark vision, it's very dark. It's very cold.
So I can't swim.
And you're waterlogged. You can try to do a strength, but you're in armor, aren't you?
I'm in like chain. It's like a chain
Yeah.
shirt.
So that would be a strength check at disadvantage for swimming. Or rather, athletics at disadvantage for swimming. Yeah. You like splash, and you splash. You can just barely break your head back up again above the surface and take a huge breath. But you're like, just basically flailing your arms about just to keep your head above water at the moment.
Can I use my reaction to try and pull him back in the boat?
No, you're not even anywhere near close to him.
Well, it's like maybe 2 steps. One,
Nope.
2.
Nope, you're not next to him. The only person who could
Oh.
potentially have done that would have been Amunet, and it would have been too late because he was jumping off on his own card.
Huh, didn't realize that I just sink. Huh.
Do you have a swimming background? Because you're from a landlocked country.
I mean, it's not unnormal for him to be able to know how to swim.
But you're
Doggy
also
paddle.
in heavy armor. is part of the problem. You're also you're very big. You're wearing heavy armor. You're wearing other stuff.
Alright.
Swimming is not that easy. It's pretty much the only type of people that I would think could jump down and still be effective at the moment into the water would be somebody with a seafaring background.
I can't get back in the boat now.
Or crab.
Not this turn, at least.
Alright.
Draco, what would you like to do?
I scan around me for target.
Roll a perception check. Because you're human, right? And they don't have a light back here. You can barely see anything, which is another reason you wouldn't be able to do it. You just basically heard a splash. You have no idea what the hell happened. You heard some people screaming. There's light up ahead at this boat, but you can't see what... and you saw a shimmer from around that, then another splash. But you really can't see anything that's going on.
I don't like this. I don't like this. I'm just like searching around with my Warhammer ready. Search. If anything tries to grab it before it can pull.
You seem to have dropped off. I couldn't hear you.
I said I'm keeping my Warhammer ready, and if anything grabs me, I'm going to grab it before it can pull me in. But I use.
Well, if you can't both hold your action and use something at the same time. You're either going to hold your action to see if anything attacks you, or you're going to do something. Up to you.
Shit. I don't know what to do. I'm freaking out, man.
Kurt?
You know what? I walk up to the edge of the boat, and I reach out for the guy this one right in the water right in front of me.
Roll a perception check at disadvantage.
I mean, wouldn't we have a light on if he can't see in the
No,
dark?
you guys said you didn't have a light on your boat. I asked you several times.
Yeah, okay.
You do not see him. All you're seeing is a bunch of dark shapes down there.
Well, I reach out, in the dark because, he's my comrade.
Alright,
and...
so you're holding your hand out in case something grabs it. Got it.
Yep. And...
Kurt,
yeah.
what do you do?
Struggle.
Roll a dexterity saving throw. Alright. You managed to wriggle out from underneath the roper's grasp.
Alright.
They're now
Was
free from it.
that my action to get out?
Yes.
Alright, then let's see. Bonus
Oh,
action.
by the way, I tell my wormling to get underneath the little wood part there that he's sitting on.
Okay, I'm gonna use my bonus action to cast Hunter's Mark on this guy.
Okay. Hunter's Mark it is. Now for the roper's turn. So this one is now missing a tentacle over here. It is going to start attacking again, sending out 4 tentacles to attack. This time, first one's at Megan, second one's at Volt, third's at Gridstrap, fourth is at Jimjar. So, let's see. He's grabbed... Oh, sorry, not him. Actually, no, yeah, he's grabbed 2... Ah, sorry. So, she's grabbed first, she goes, ah! Then him. Somehow, Gridstrap manages to wriggle free from this attack, and it manages to pluck Jimjar out from under the water. He screams again, ah! And then the other one. The other one will also is currently holding onto him. Actually, I'm just gonna use.
He first takes 8 damage to the face.
Right, he takes 8 damage to the face. This thing does have movement speed. So it is actually going. Does it? Question. Your cloud of daggers. Is it stay in the spot that you cast it, or does it follow around whatever creature you cast it on?
It says a 5 foot cube on each side. I don't even think I can move it. It just stays
Okay.
there. So if it
So-
can move, it can
Yeah,
move.
so the roper can actually move out of the way, so that's exactly what it's going to do at this point. It is going to move out of range of the things by moving up here, moving its maximum range out of there. And it is going to use Reel.
Oh no.
So that's a lot.
It missed out on some damage because it could have rolled people into the daggers.
Oh.
Now, it reels him directly into its towards its mouth. And then,
Run, crab, run!
And then it bites, attempting to pull the crab form. How much AC does your crab have?
Not a lot from what I know. It's just a standard crab. It only has an 11 AC.
How much HP does it have?
2.
It pops the crab into its mouth. The crab loses 2 damage, and then Char takes 21. As it stuffs Char into his mouth.
Welcome, guys. I'm on 1 HP now.
Still alive though. 1 HP is enough HP.
Oh god. Megan is outraged to be stuck in this thing's grasp. But she will cast Magic Missile at it. Let's see. Yeah, fixing up her Magic Missile spell as well, just like I did with Volt, so I don't have to keep casting it. So she also, while being held in its tentacle, casts Magic Missile at its face. 10 damage. You just see that the Magic Missile shooting through the darkness right at the roper over there. Actually, it's not really shooting through the darkness. Their boat has light on it. But anyway, so she shoots at it with her Magic Missile. Athenar, what do you wish to do?
I take my bow and I aim at the roper. I'm gonna use Psychic Blades. I get sneak attack because Char is there. And
Well,
I'm gonna
Char
use
isn't
sharpshooter.
actually threatening it, so doesn't count.
I mean-
Char is in its mouth, so
Aw.
Char is not threatening it at all.
Okay. I'm gonna aim a bit up so I don't shoot Char in the butt, you know. And,
He's not threatening it with an
Yeah, if you
addition.
roll a natural 1, that'll happen anyway. But so roll away. You see the arrow launch, and it plinks harmlessly off this thing's side.
How much AC do these creatures have?
I go fuck and I drop concentration on my Cloud of Daggers and I'm gonna bonus action Healing Word. Why not? Yeah. Hey, sure.
What's the distance on Healing Word? 60 feet?
I think it's yeah.
Then Char
60.
can be healed. Go for it.
Hey,
Please.
sure. Have some HP, dude.
Please.
Forget the Psychic Blade damage. That shouldn't be on there.
You gain
Oh yeah, I now have 7.
You take 6. No, 6, not 7.
No, he's got 7
No,
total.
I'm on
HP at the
7.
moment.
Oh, yeah.
Because he was a
Okay.
crab, it's the only reason he's still alive at the moment.
Yeah.
Right now, he'd be in that thing's mouth and dead.
Without crab form, I would be.
I'd be sliding down
Crab.
its gullet in the next turn.
I mean, the 6 hit points ain't gonna save you, but, you know, I tried.
Holly, let's see. Holly, is focused mostly on the battle here, but she suddenly hears the screams coming from over in that direction. Would it be fair to say that your psychic blades light up at all, Athnar?
Unfortunately, I just said I dropped it.
The psychic blade, but when you attempted to shoot at the roper, or actually no, your spell would light up a little bit. Yeah. So
No, Chris, I specifically said I dropped the concentration on
no,
psychic.
the healing word.
Oh yeah, the healing word. Yeah.
So yeah, Holly was originally focused on that, but she saw the bits of light and the healing and the screams coming from over there. Focuses in, clutches her holy symbol to her chest and says, "Oh, Divine, please help!" And we'll cast Healing Word at Char. At 2nd level. For 9 hit points.
I have some hit points now.
Not gonna help you if it bites down hard again, but still.
If I change into another creature, it will.
Volts! Let's see. He is also struggling with this, and will attempt to break free. Let's see. I decided I would go with dexterity on these. Unfortunately, he continues to struggle. Being pulled by the roper. Amunette.
Okay. So first off, non-lethal or not damaging, she's going to unravel her whip and she has reach on it, and she's going to,
What's
as
the reach
one
on
of
your
her,
whip?
it's an additional 5 feet, so it should be 10
Okay.
for Lancelot.
Alright.
So one of her attack actions, she's going to do that. And then the other attack, she is going to shoot at the roper.
Okay.
This one over here with Char.
Help me!
And that hits.
Ooh. Doesn't need
And
to
then
take the whip action as well. So yeah, as you send out your thing, your bolt goes true this time and strikes it right into the eye socket. You hear a dreadful scream coming from the roper, which is incredibly loud as far as Char is concerned.
And then she is going to,
But
as a bone...
unfortunately, but as you try to whip down towards Sir Lancelot, you find that it falls a little short, dripping into the water instead.
But she's going to keep it down there for him to grab.
Okay. So now there's a whip being
So
down
she's
there
kind
and,
of... yeah.
his arm. Got it.
And then bonus action, she is going to cast... Hold on, let me see if this action or bonus action. Hold on. That is an action, so she is then going to cast Hex on this roper on the left.
Okay. So now it has both Hex and that. And Hex, that's a concentration, isn't it?
Nope. I don't think so.
I seem to recall it was... Oh, no, Bane's concentration. Never mind.
No, it is. It's
Oh, it is
concentration.
Okay.
Oh!
Put a concentration modifier on you then.
Yeah, it's checked on my sheet. That's what it says.
And it gets disadvantage on ability check for your choice too, which is nice.
Yeah, so let's go ahead and do... Let's do dexterity.
And that's a negative what to dexterity?
Disadvantage to any dex checks. Or dex save, sorry.
Dex ability checks, you were right.
Oh, yes.
Okay. Okay, have a note on that. Good. Alright. Now I get to my NPCs. Fun. Jim Jar is kind of flailing around. This thing's gonna eat me! This thing's gonna eat me! No! This is not how I die. This is not how I die. No. Let's see. What do I do? And he, Okay. So he, once again, looks over towards the roper, and and says, "Did you know you look so much like a rock that you can't even move anymore?" Nah, I'm really bad with vicious mockery, even though I play a bard a lot. Sorry. I really need to get one of those books of cool comebacks for vicious mockery, you know? Roper. Wisdom saving throw. The roper is very much affected. It is offended by Jim Jar and is very angry at him. And Grisdrop is once again looking around at her companions and just kind of clenching her fists and just breathing heavily. This time nothing though seems to happen. Although, yeah, nothing seems to happen this time. Like, last time you saw that a tentacle disintegrate when she was like, looking like that, but this time nothing seems to be affected. Char.
All right, another question.
Okay.
Would Char be able to wild shape into something
How many
like a
times
large size?
how many
I can
times
wild
can you
shape one more time.
Okay.
I can wild shape one more time, but
It has nothing to do with size. It has everything to do with CR, I believe.
no, like because I'm in the mouth of this creature.
Yeah.
That's why I'm asking.
You can. You'll still be in this mouth. This thing is large itself. It can, it can still be eating you. It's just that you're not like completely in its mouth, if you know what I mean.
Just gonna wild shape into a warhorse.
Okay, pull out your warhorse token then. And you can use a strength saving throw to try to break out of its grasp.
Come on, warhorse. You're good at this.
Nay, baby, nay.
The tentacle is still wrapped firmly around you. You're still half
There
in
you
its
go.
mouth. But at least you now have more HP to lose.
Exactly, that's the whole point.
Sir Lancelot.
I guess I climb back in the boat.
Alright, you get an assist from both Emunet and Draco, so you can easily get back in the boat.
And I don't know what to do now.
Do you have any, let's see. You can grab hold of the oar and try to steer the boat, either towards or away from the roper. Do you have any sort of, missile weapon?
I do, but he's not exactly the best at ranged.
Okay. It's up to you.
I guess I go closer.
Alright. So roll a strength check.
Strength for athletics.
Strength. Alright.
Nice.
Oops. Hold on a second.
Ah!
We
The
also
dragon
overload.
goes swimming down to the bottom of the river.
Dragon!
You've now pulled your boat all the way over here.
I don't like this.
I do.
You don't like it? The mouth of one of them.
Draco, what would you like to do?
Now that he's on the boat, I hop onto the stern of the ship.
I guess that's what that's called. I'm not a ship person. Not yet, anyway. I got Ghost of Salt merch, so I can figure that out sometime soon. But I'm not a
And
ship
I
person, really.
cast.
That's the bow.
bow.
I'll leave it to her. She probably knows everything.
I get
I'm-
onto the bow
Google.
of the ship.
Yes, that's my point. You have access to everything. What are you doing? I'm sorry, Draco. Draco?
Hold on. I cast mass healing word.
Alright.
Aye.
Unfortunately, no one around you actually needs healing word at the moment, so
Yeah,
that's completely
I'm
useless.
currently a warhorse with full HP.
And yeah, so I'm gonna allow you to walk that back.
Okay, thank you.
I don't want you to lose that spell because it's useless at the moment.
They'll feel fresh.
That would be helpful for when I'm down as a back to
Um,
human size.
He says that's true. It's going to happen.
Just throw something.
I hold my action. I
What
hold my
action are you holding?
I'm holding. I'm kissing my ass goodbye. I don't know. I'm
Oh.
holding on my warhammer. Waiting for something to grab me.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I forgot that Holly has a spiritual weapon up at the moment. Darn it, I should have used that last turn. I completely forgot.
Hold on. If I cast actually, you know what? No, I know what I'll do. I'll cast spirit.
All right.
And what it does is that
I know it's
a
spiritual.
bunch of
I know what spirit guardians is. What is the form of your spirit guardians?
huh?
What form do your spirit guardians take?
Archangels.
Alright. There's a sudden roar coming out from the roper as it suddenly gets assaulted by what looks like archangels.
Since I'm a war cleric, you know,
Yeah.
I summon archangels.
Kurt, what would you like to do?
Jump to land. It shouldn't be any trouble for me, I don't think.
Roll a dexterity check.
Really?
Yes, dexterity check.
It's like 10 feet.
Or athletics. Sorry, either one of those will do. Whichever you feel comfortable with.
Okay.
Yep, you're fine. You're perfectly fine. You have no
That's a
trouble at all.
fucking 3-point landing right there.
I do a fucking flip.
Kurt is a wonder.
And I switch weapon mid
But there's always a
flip
chance you get
to
a nat
Warhammer.
There's always a chance that you get a nat 1 and just fall into the water.
Just taking a step off the ship. Whoops.
Yeah, you catch your foot as you're trying to fly
Like-
in.
Like, whoops, that meant to be a jump.
Last word of Curtis go, fuck, and then it's gone.
My warming pops out from underneath from the ship and like holds up a glow in the dark scorecard with a 10.
Let's see here. Yeah, I should be able to like make it here.
Mhm.
So, whoop the fucking doop. Hello. Shield in one hand, Warhammer in the other. Gonna.
Wait, I thought a warhammer was a two-handed weapon.
Versatile,
It's
motherfucker.
versatile.
So the weapon in my picture is that a warhammer?
Some kind of
could
mace,
be.
I think, but I can't tell from here.
Not sure.
I
A
would
warhammer
say
can use
so.
two-handed or one-handed.
Yeah.
It is a hammer. I have the picture in my files, but it is a hammer. But the handle's long enough for two hands.
Yeah, I would say it's a warhammer.
Okay.
Anyway, it's hurt, right?
Yeah, it is hurt.
And hopefully miss. And miss.
Mm-hmm.
Nay?
I'm just gonna bump my chest to go take a bite of this. And that's it. After I've been completely wasted my round.
The roper reels Jim Jar in. Let's see if that can get all the
Oh,
way.
he's dead.
Or just part of the way in. Let me check. Nope, all the way. Jim Jar screams as the roper just drags him close. Hold on.
Join the club, Jim Jar.
And the roper does. Well, the roper tries to grab him. Jim Jar just kind of wriggles and kind of puts his hands out. You see Jim. You guys can't see it because you're at a distance, but the rest of the NPCs see that Jim Jar's hands are just kind of like stuck on the outside of the thing's mouth, trying to prevent himself from going in. No,
He's like standing
nope,
in the
nope,
mouth,
nope, nope.
holding it up, like please.
Oh wait,
No,
sorry,
no,
that's
no,
right.
no,
Those,
no.
That thing has advantage on him. Never mind. Hold on. Let me double check his AC.
Oh, never mind.
Oh no. Poor Jim Jar.
Only 14.
Come
so,
on, Jim
yeah,
Jar.
so Jim Jar attempts to do that, and as he suddenly chomped. He is still alive though. Get this thing off me! Help!
I'm like freaking out because my friends are getting attacked and I can't do anything, and I'm yelling out, "I can't see anything! I'm sorry!"
Fix it, don't worry.
Oh, I forgot. This thing's multi-attack. It can attack with its tendrils and reel and bite. So I'm taking it back a step since I forgot to do that last time.
I would like to say one thing for Jim Jar's sake.
What?
He did fail the vicious mockery, which means the first attack has disadvantage as well.
Oh,
Ah!
Straight roll.
Bard.
go Jim Jar!
I keep
You
forgetting
lazy
that
Jim
about-
Jar.
Nope. We go back to the first way we said it. Jim Jar's hands are just kind of clutched on the outside of it, going nope, 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 nope.
God, you're just doing better than me.
But it
I'd say
slashes out a
big giant
tentacle
spine.
right towards Grisdrop. Which again,
No.
misses. She's like dodges out of the way. She's super fucking lucky with that. Now the other one. The other one will take a tentacle attack against Kurt.
That's a miss.
The next one goes at Draco. Draco, that hits. It wraps around you, and it's got you in its grip. The next one goes out at Amunet. Miss. And the last of the tentacle attacks goes to Sir Lancelot.
Is it not taking
that's-
damage from my
that's a hit.
spirit guardian?
It is. Roll for your Spirit Guardians. Actually, Draco, that's a concentration spell, yes?
Um.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Hold on. Yes, it is concentration.
Okay, so let's see. Kicks 10 damage. It is going to reel you in because it senses that you are the source of its pain and suffering, and it's going to bite, which it gets advantage on because it's currently restraining you.
Oh.
Oh wow. So it's not biting me, right?
It's biting Draco.
Okay.
that's worse.
Eminette's going to pull out her dagger. She's going to cut out a little piece of her arm, and she is going to do Blood Curse of the Eyeless as a reaction. So
Ha
Oh!
and she amplified, so an extra 5 points. So she will take 5 points of damage. Next attack also has disadvantage as well since it's amplified.
Okay.
Fucking coming to the rescue.
Which means it comes, basically you get slammed into the side of it and just barely, miss its teeth as its eye suddenly just goes white.
Oof.
Oh man. Am I still entangled?
Yep, you're still entangled. Let's see.
Okay.
Megan, who's entangled with this, is looking at it, Jim Jarrett, like, ah! But she's also struggling with her own problem here and will attempt to... Now, she is going to grab hold of the tentacle and just cast Chill Touch on it. Which, because it's the tentacle, she's going on the tentacle... Oh, never mind. That still has an AC of 20. But it doesn't... She's like, this doesn't work! And she continues to struggle to get free. Which she does. It's like, she manages to pull out from under it, even though the spell failed. Athnar.
Do I get the perception everyone has the human?
I'm sorry, what'd you say, Athnar?
Do I get the perception that the humans have a hard time seeing shit?
Yeah, I'd imagine so. The question is, does your character care?
I mean, I care because somebody decided to pull me closer to the roper. I'm like, no, let's have some light up in here, and I'm gonna cast dancing lights, and I'm gonna
Excellent.
create 4 lights. One here, one here by the people here, one on this roper, and one on the boat. So everyone should have some
120
sort
feet.
of light.
Okay, that's also a concentration spell, so...
Yeah,
concentration.
and I'm gonna duck under the floorboards, under the seats. I'm gonna like, you guys can see now. Good luck.
Roll a stealth check to see if you can hide.
Technically speaking, I can't hide as a bonus action.
Okay, so that's for flavor. Okay,
But if you're letting me,
you're not actually. Well,
Take it.
what the hell?
Take it if it's
Just go for it. I'm gonna see if you're hidden.
Oh wow.
Athnar just basically falls flat and falls under there after casting that spell.
you shouldn't give me these things.
I am a purple plank of wood.
I am allowing it for flavor reasons. We're good here. Let's see. Holly
My worm
suddenly.
is nipping at the dancing light, thinking it's a plaything.
Holly suddenly remembers about her her spiritual weapon and uses that to attack, which unfortunately misses. She looks over towards her party, and moves closer to these guys. Just kind of looks around to see what she can do. She doesn't have any weapons. She doesn't have any offensive spells. Other than spiritual weapons, she's already used that. Volt pulls out his long sword and attempts to slash down with both hands at disadvantage on the tentacle. Oh! He just goes cutting right through the tentacle, and suddenly this roper only has 4 tentacles left. And the answer is he's probably better off where he is at the moment. A person who just whispered me. So Volt just managed to cut out one of the tentacles. This thing takes damage from that as it cries out from the pain of the tentacle being severed all of a sudden. And the only person still grappled over there is Jimjar, and only has 4 tentacles altogether left. Amunet.
I imagine that I don't have a clear shot, correct?
At the moment, there are 2 people practically at its mouth. One of them is a giant horse, so no.
Okay. Then she's gonna try to get off the boat. So, will you allow dexterity for that?
I'll allow that. So you nearly get there and splash. You're kind of completely soaked with water. It'll take another action, a bonus action or whatnot to climb onto the shore.
Okay, then her bonus action will be to climb onto the shore.
Like action, bonus action, yeah.
Oh wait, my action and bonus action?
Well, you jumped, so okay, so yeah, that's a bonus action. Never mind. You can use a that the jump would be movement, but the climbing up would in this case would be finishing off your. Oh, that's right. No, that's finishing off your movement. Never mind. So yeah, you still have an action left, but you can't move any further.
But that's okay. Would you say that I am flanking with Draco?
No, because he's not threatening it. He's in its mouth. He's not actually on the other side of it.
That's fine. I'm trying to get as much out of this next attack as I can because she is going to look at her crossbow and she's going to whisper, and she's got right focus since the blood curse is active. A 19 will crit.
Alright.
Come on, Amunet.
And she's going to 2 attacks.
Miss.
Both of them miss.
Yep. Yeah, even though you're that close to it, the bolts just kind of bounce and disintegrate.
It's all good.
Ginger's like, let me out, and just wriggles to no effect. Grishrop kind of like clenches her hands together. And you just hear her cry out, Ginger! And there's just loud shaking all of a sudden from right above the roper. And anybody who wants to look around over there will suddenly see rocks starting to fall from up there. Missing Ginger entirely, but just kind of landing on the roper.
That's some lucky stuff.
I sense divine favoritism. Where's my giant spike?
Nay.
The giant spike falls down on you.
Where's my giant spike?
Yeah.
There it is.
Found it.
Quake! Char.
Nay, I'm trying to get out.
Dexterity save with that, please. Nope. You're still kind of tangled up in this thing. Sir Lancelot, what would you like to do? You're currently in a tentacle. You're still on the boat, but there's a tentacle wrapped around you. You can't move. You have disadvantage on your attack, but
break free. I'd like to strong arm my way out of this.
Alright. Strength at disadvantage, or no, miss anyway. Yeah, you kind of wriggle, but it's extremely tough, extremely strong, and it's got you cold.
Come on, bring me closer, damn it.
Draco!
Alright,
Hold me closer, tiny roper.
Quick question before I start this: how many spell slots am I able to spells am I able to prepare as a level 5 cleric?
Who does
It
clerics?
is. I do. I think I do. It's for clerics. It's your wisdom modifier plus your cleric level. That's prepared spells.
Okay, so that's 9. All right.
And remember
Plus
that.
domain
Yeah,
spells, I think.
exactly. Domain spells do not count against prepared spells. Domain spells are always prepared.
Oh, okay. Then I need to look
So-
at my domain spells. But yes, this thing has me grappled, right?
Yep. So all attacks are at
Alright.
disadvantage.
Well, I don't see how it would be a disadvantage if he
It's
he has me to him.
You're at disadvantage for any attack you try to make.
Because you're grappled, that's...
You're restrained.
But what if I try to grapple the grappler?
Your strength checks and saves are also at disadvantage at the moment.
That's the
Grappling
bullshit.
Grappling the grappler is also known as hugging.
All right, fine then. I grab the tentacle that's around me, or not around, but I like try to put my hand on it and cast inflict wounds at
Alright.
level 3.
Okay.
Come on, man. Come on.
Unfortunately, it's still disadvantage, so you try and grab at it, but whatever attack you're trying to make at it just doesn't seem to have any real effect. It's as if the hide is way too thick.
Are like my spirit guardians, are they still in effect?
Yeah, which come in effect at its turn.
Huh?
They strike at the start of its turn, not yours. So yeah.
When its turn.
Yeah.
When turn.
On the roper's turn.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Kurt.
Alright, so I'll squeeze up and get behind here.
Alright.
Do I flank it?
No. The only way you
No.
can flank it is if you were over here, be flanking with Amunet.
Cool. Do I flank it here?
Yeah, we'll go for
Right.
that.
Yeah.
Remember, you have Hunter's Mark up on it.
Yeah, Hunter's Mark on it, and it's hurt. So, once again, Shield and Warhammer.
Miss.
Damn it.
Oh, your flankies are at advantage. So that first one, 7 and 6 for the roll of
Alright.
23. So that's 13. Plus your Hunter's Mark.
Yeah, plus my Hunter's Mark, which is...
That's why it's useful to always roll 2 at
Oh.
once. by the way.
Yeah, sorry. Well,
Does
yeah,
Colossal
but...
Slayer affect Hunter's Mark?
No.
Okay.
I was gonna say that. And you told me before not to keep it on advantage unnecessarily. So I switched it to
No.
normal.
Switch it so that it shows both 2 rolls instead of it darkening or lighting up one of them. Because that's what it's advantage. What is it? I forget what it's called. There's just there's one that rolls at advantage, one that rolls at disadvantage, one that rolls both, and so that
Toggle.
toggle. Here we go. Either that, or just remember that flanking means advantage, and you should be switched
Yeah.
to advantage.
Yeah, the settings on the character sheet just doesn't make it easy because either I have a toggle or not toggle, and
I'm sorry.
I'm just gonna do this then, because that is what
That
you.
hits.
And that's another Hunter's Mark then.
Yes, it is.
Found the Lotus Slayer this time. So altogether from the top, that's 7, 6, 13. 17.
I got it. No, I already calculated its health.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you're
Alright.
basically seeing chips of its really thick hide seeming to buckle under the attacks of the warhammer, just kind of chipping away. It's if the stone that's been forming up around it is just kind of falling apart. And you can see bits of blood just oozing through the cracks, getting onto your warhammer and sliding down onto the ground.
It's just more rage, like. "Ah!"
Okay, this Ripper is once again going to throw tentacles out at Megan, Volt, and Grizzdrop. Alright, it only grabs Volt. It is going to reel Volt in. Doesn't. Oh, yeah, it does get to there. Drags him in and is going to bite him because Jim Jar is very slippery. You're a loud crunch and a cry of pain coming from Volt over on the other side of the way. Now this Ripper. Roll for Spirit Guidance, please. Alright. So, as Kurt finishes off, striking it a couple times with the Warhammer, the spiritual guardians just kind of flow around it and just start taking traps with their radiant blades, and suddenly the Roper lets go of everybody and starts collapsing to the ground in front of you.
Ooh, nice.
I rolled
Hey.
and into my feet. And I have neither. Boom.
Alrighty then.
That was way too close for me.
You're
Megan,
fine.
You hear Megan shouting, "Vault!" And she once again unleashes magic missile at it. You hear the Roper kind of cry out in pain all the way over there. Ethnar!
Looking like the trouble here is finished, I'm gonna get over here and I'm gonna whisper to my arrow, "May the blades of the night take you away." And I'm gonna shoot at the Roper. I don't get sneak attack, right? Because no one is threatening it.
Right. No one is directly at space. It's just holding two people. Yeah. So yeah, as the magic missiles finish, blasting it in the face, you kind of look over at the arrows and just look through there, manage to find the thing's eye, and launch your strike directly into it. And as it hits the eye, the Roper just kind of freezes, its tentacles unwinding from its prisoners, and it collapses backwards.
I can just imagine an arrow drifting right into his eye.
I'm gonna shout at Volt to take my arrow with you. And I'm gonna jump overboard and I'm gonna start looking for my arrow.
Roll, how many arrows did you use?
I think I only used 2.
Then roll a 1d2. Actually, roll a 1d3, sorry. Alright. You find your arrow, and Volt finds your arrow. Both arrows are still good and useful.
Woo. I mean, I can fix them. I have mending, but yeah. Woo! I got my arrows. That's all I needed. Maybe we should.
Nay!
I'm gonna look at the Roper. Is there anything interesting on it?
Let me double check a second.
I don't know. Maybe just having a tooth of it would be cool. I don't know.
Roll
It
a
has
survival
stuff
check.
hyped.
Yeah, Ambernet wants to take a look at get some of the tentacles because they had really tensile strength. So she's gonna grab
Get
some.
out of my head. I was thinking the same thing.
I'm gonna tell.
The other boat, as you guys are starting this, kind of like, after loading up Volt and Jimjar, comes floating over to you. It's kind of pulled over to you guys, and everybody unloads off and are breathing heavily. Jimjar looks like you're very shaken. Volt is hurt, and you can see that Tolly is there, working on healing him up some.
I'm gonna give Jim sort of a slap on the back and
You kind of cut off there. What'd you say?
I'm gonna slap Jimsor on the back and I'm gonna say, "Don't worry, guy, I got your back."
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Oh, that I was here. Never faced a roper before. No. Ropers are ropers are very nasty. Yeah.
Nay.
Eminette sits down and she takes one of the buckles on her armor and she makes a tourniquet.
So Kurt is going to try to.
So you manage you don't manage to get any intact teeth, unfortunately. You just kind of like try to reach around in the mouth, and one tooth snaps, another tooth snaps, and it's like, ugh, you're not having any luck at this, Athnar. Ditto, Amunet.
She
Uh,
gave up.
Kurt is going to try and rip some tentacles off.
Alright, roll a survival check. So you managed to grab off two of the tentacles from this particular roper. You gotta pull them off. They're a bit squishy. Like some of the armor casing that's kind of like sloughs off after it's dead, but the tentacles themselves seem a bit intact and nice and ropey.
They're quite long though, aren't they?
Yep, they can reach about 50 feet.
Ooh, I could use this as a makeshift rope.
I also retrieve one or two tentacles.
Roll a survival check.
Boop.
All right, you managed to get another two tentacles off the corpse. Kind of pull them out, and the armor plating comes off, and you've got kind of a semi potential rope. You don't know how strong it's going to be, all things considered, but it seems like it could be usable in a pinch.
I start braiding it.
Roll a dexterity check. Yeah, you try to put it together, but it's like, ugh, this material is not conducive to braiding. It's they keep slipping apart and falling apart, and every time you try it, it's like you're running the risk of breaking it.
What if I dry them out? Would it become brittle?
You don't. Roll a nature check, actually. Yeah, you're not entirely sure. These are underdirt creatures. You're not from here. You don't know what the effect of completely drying it out will be. But right now, each tentacle is at least the thickness of a rope.
All right. Well, I guess I'll just bundle it up and I'll put it like in a side pocket.
Well, it won't fit in a pocket. You'll need to put it in a bag. It's 50 feet rope, after all.
Oh, well then I put it in my backpack.
All right, there you go. So, Megan begins to talk. How are you guys? How did you guys fare over here? By the way, is Char still a horse?
Yes.
Right. She's currently staring at Char, kind of looking him up and down. Well, I'm guessing you didn't do too well if you're stuck like that.
Nay.
She reaches up and gently pats Char on the side of his face. You do make a splendid horse, don't you?
Nay.
Voltus kind of
Cho turned back into himself again.
Jim Jar just kind of looks around at the party and goes, that was some fight, right? Yeah, that was terrifying. Couldn't see exactly what was happening to you guys since I was busy, trying to live.
Same here.
You guys seem to be all intact. Yeah.
Yeah, we
Well,
killed
Just
5-10 of them.
A couple of you are wet. You're, yeah. He's looking at Char. It's like, you look like you've been chewed on? Yeah. Yeah, you
Yep.
both. Yeah, that was intense.
that hurt.
I look around at everybody, and as I come in back, and I say to the group, "Is anybody hurt? Does anybody need healing?"
Cho just looks at all of the injuries on him. Yeah, I would say so.
I guess I sit down in the middle of the group, and 6 people who are. I tell everybody to gather around, like whoever's injured, to gather around me, and I sit down cross-legged and I start to pray as the divine light starts to resonate from me.
You don't pray to the divine light. You pray to Bahamut or Paylor, didn't you?
Bahamut, yeah.
In this game, the divine light has a special connotation. It's the name of a particular god.
Oh, well, I start praying, and whatever resonance Bahamut has starts resonating off of me. And
radiant light would be good in this sense.
I guess, but there you go.
Or divine healing. Either way, but divine light in particular is the god that Holly worships.
Oh, well, the heat, the sacred heat of Bahamut emanates off of me, healing and sealing your wounds for 11 points of damage. I mean, healing points.
Yeah, I think we should just make camp here for tonight, Volt suggests. I mean, we killed 2 ropers. We should be good.
Definitely.
Sounds good.
Oh, rest would be nice.
I'm gonna cut up the tentacles and feed them to you.
That would be nice
good.
too.
+4. That healing, that prayer of healing is +4.
Amanette's gonna pull out her blanket from her pack and she's gonna walk over to Lancelot. You okay there?
Yes,
You kind of sank like a rock there.
not normal water.
Oh, here, dry yourself off. And she'll give him the blanket.
He shakes like a dog.
That works too. She kind of like, you know, like shields her face a little bit and chuckles. Okay, that works.
I yell out to Draconic for the wormling to get off the boat and come to me.
Yeah, the wormling just kind of poked its head out from under the boat and looks at you and blinks for a bit. Seems to be thinking that the boat is much safer.
Oh. Well, then I guess I'm sleeping on the boat tonight. As I pull up my blanket and my bedroll and heading to the boat. As I grab one end and I pull it up on shore to make sure it's not going anywhere.
I just realized, does anyone know how to make a campfire? Do we have any kind of fuel?
I have a tinder box.
A tinder box fuel.
We can always use the roper.
The roper probably won't burn. You might want to roll a nature check on that.
Ah, motherfucker.
Oh!
Yeah, you kind of look. Char is the nature guy in the group. You kind of take a look at the roper and kind of would probably be shaking your head, going, "Ropers really won't burn."
Yeah.
Right, well.
Will I find anything that could?
Oh, roll a survival check.
Yeah, I'm gonna assist with that.
Yeah, if you're assisting with that, that means you actually got a 21.
Thank God.
That works,
So,
yeah.
Char, you look around for a second, and then Amunet just kind of claps you on the back, and you both together spot a bit of Zerkwood that seems to have, not fared so well recently. It looks like something had been eating part of it, so that it's leaned over. It has a similar consistency to actual wood, but it is a mushroom. So you think that this will probably burn.
Amanette puts a little bit of, she's got a flask of oil, and she'll just put a little dab on it just to help it get started.
Chris,
Yeah?
can I find 2 rocks?
Roll an investigation check.
2 hand-sized rocks.
We're all gonna die in our sleep.
You kind of
Two
look around.
hand-sized rock,
You kind of
Grace.
look around the shore for a bit, but all you can find is one. Everything else is either teeny tiny pebbles or too big to move them with more than two hands at once.
I mean, pebbles are fine.
You said
I just
hand-sized
need-
specifically?
I need something small I can throw. That's all I need.
Then there are plenty of pebbles
Small
around.
stones. Yeah, I'll take 2 pebbles. And during the downtime, I'm gonna cast Magic Mouth on both of them.
Are you taking a long rest or a short rest?
I don't know.
Party? What do you guys say? Long rest
Yeah.
or short
Maybe.
rest?
Long rest.
I'm fine with the long rest. Yeah.
Alright.
I mean, yeah. During the first hour, I'll take the time to do Magic Mouth on 2 of the stones
Alright,
as a ritual.
so as you guys are taking a long rest, let us take a 5-minute break. Or a 10-minute break. Something like that.
Hold
Just a
on.
break.
Riz, don't go. No!
She's gone.
Yeah, he's gone.
Alright, time to get drunk.
God damn it, Riz. Hello?
Hey,
Hi.
what's the problem?
I want to name my dragon.
Good for you.
No, good for you too.
It's Buttface, isn't it?
Yeah, Buttface. Buttface the
Buttface.
dragon.
We take a vote.
You name my dragon butt face, I'm gonna make your face look like a butt. Or put a track in it.
I mean, you have a warhammer. That's not really the best.
Say again?
You have a warhammer. That's probably not the best weapon to do that. You need like a knife or something. That
No, I
would
can
be
still put a
more-
crack in your face with a warhammer.
I guess.
I can literally split your face open. What should I name my dragon? Name generator. Da, da, da. Hmm.
Is it safe to assume I can throw a rock 30 feet?
What's the strength?
Improvised range weapon. I guess that's 30 feet, I think.
Okay.
I'm not sure. Don't quote me on it.
Too late.
Shit. Gonna go and put some coffee on.
Are we taking a break?
It's 5 minutes, 3 minutes
Okay.
left.
Cool. Grubby.
Back.
Welcome back. God damn it, dude. These names are hard to pronounce.
Alright, back. Checking on the
Welcome
cats.
back.
They were sitting quietly together in the other room. Well, not together. They were like on two different parts of the room, but still.
Oh.
So they were looking nice and cozy.
Alright, Chris. If I'm just looking for pebbles, how many can I find?
So you already rolled an investigation check. So when it comes to pebbles, probably about 5.
That's enough.
Yeah.
I'm back.
Welcome back.
Welcome back.
So Chris, during the first hour, I'm enchanting all these pebbles to do something. Do you want me to tell you now, or do you want to find out later?
You have to tell me now, I'm GM.
All right. So
You
when
just
I
have to
throw
tell
them,
You don't have to tell the party anything. You just have to tell me.
yeah, I'll whisper it. I don't feel.
And Tobias has coffee. Excellent.
I lay down with my with the wormling, and I kind of like pat beside me for to like kind of entice him to come lay beside me.
Okay.
And I'm talking to him in Draconic, and I say, "You don't have a name yet, do you?"
He didn't put one on his sheet, so therefore he does not yet have a name.
Oh, wait, he has a sheet? I didn't know he had a sheet. Yeah, I don't have a sheet for him.
You should. It's under companions.
No.
I thought he. Oh, that's right. Never mind. I know why. No. Yeah, he doesn't yet have a name. He's still pretty young and not ready for fighting.
Well, still doesn't mean he can't use the name. How about ignore?
You're gonna have to write that down. I can barely hear you.
Mm.
Ignore.
Apparently.
Poor dragon.
You know what? Now y'all just ruined it. Never mind. God damn it. They ruined my name pick. You know what? How about Ignis? There we go. Ignis. It's Latin for fire.
I know what Ignis means.
Oh.
Sorry. I took Latin. I get really... It's like when people say something like that, it's like...
Well, I didn't know, so that's why I said it.
No, I know. That's why I said that. But basically, you don't know that.
Say again?
I said... That's why I suddenly realized, oh yeah, well, I shouldn't get mad at you. You have no way of knowing that.
Exactly. Like, what are you getting mad at me for? I didn't know. I'm just a po' boy.
Hey, Grizz. Can I ask a favor?
Sure.
No.
Can I have a handout just so I can keep track of the bag of colding in the game? I have it all written down, but cool. Thank you.
Oh, guys, you hear Etnar screaming, "Let's get out of here!" And there they are, killed him like 3 times each. Just so you know, Etnar just screamed those things in the course of an hour.
Gratuit, like,
So does Amunet.
in concern, like,
You see me, I'm looking at a stone while I'm screaming them. I'm just holding the stone intensely, and I'm just looking at it, and then I scream these words.
Imagine Amunet's with Kurt because he was cooking. I think the madness hit again. What do you
it was
think?
made a very concentrated cloud of madness over there.
No, very specific to one, apparently.
Oh god. I say that and I take a bite out of the tentacle.
Man, they're killing my dragon, eating a rat, and feeding half to Ignis.
Chris, I have a few of each of those. I have the number written down on my
Okay, cool,
sheets.
cool.
Hey Draco, you want a tentacle? It's good.
There you go. Properly made little wormling sheet.
Yay!
I just had to fix some stats on there because they were statted for a young dragon and not really a wormling.
Yay! Ignis.
Oh, right, back pulling. There was something I was missing.
Ignore to hit.
Because I wanted to actually have it roll damage automatically instead of having to worry about, typing it out. Like because Dragon Breath keeps making you type it out. And therefore it would show it, but it would show up with a to-hit thing, and that doesn't really make any sense for the actual thing, so I just kind of said, ignore it. Ignore the to-hit, it's on automatic hit. And the bag of holding is now in your handouts.
Thank you.
Yay! I have a red dragon as a baby.
Yeah.
I'm a daddy.
So Glabagul's still on the ship because the cube is a bit confused about what the hell's going on here. The other group of the party, the NPCs are kind of gathered around. The Grishapp's kind of sitting there with her arms kind of curled around herself, kind of rocking back and forth. Holly is crouched down and patting her on the shoulder. Megan is watching Volt from afar, and Volt is kind of looking at the damage done to his armor. Working to fix up any little holes that the roper put into it. And Jim Jar is busy rolling some dice around just because he can. What are the rest of you guys doing?
I'm screaming to stone.
Charles
Eminet
just
is with
resting.
Eminet's thinking that Athnar's lost his mind. He's probably eating some rubber tentacle with.
Kurt is trying to ignore Afnar was eating tentacle meat.
Yeah, I think let probably around the fire eating a little bit as well.
Yeah,
before we
he
rest.
has made an announcement that everyone can come eat.
Yeah, Efnor's gonna eat a ration.
Wow.
I'll have a tentacle.
Megan sits down to eat. Volt sits down to eat. Grishop and Holly, however, stay over where they're at. They seem to be talking softly to each other. Jim Jar comes over to eat, kind of pokes at it. How'd you prepare this time, huh? Oh,
Yes,
this
put
looks
some
like it's
spices
actually
on
gonna
it.
be good. Ooh.
Just put some spices on
Hey,
it and put it on the fire.
you're a good cook. Yeah. You're a great cook, right? Aren't you? Yes. Excellent. Thank you, Gert. Megan just kind of not. Megan and Volt will kind of nod at you too. And Megan kind of Volt would be the one to start muttering something about army food and all out there in the front lines. This is far superior to that. And this stuff's made out of rubber tentacles.
After we're done, after Eminette's done eating, she's gonna want to start distilling some of the Varrock blood that she found had poison in it.
Alright. Do you have an alchemy kit? You have an alchemy kit, yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Because you came down here, you weren't just here for, like the rest of these guys. So yeah, you have an alchemy kit. You can get set up onto one side as the rest of them, put together a camp. And start distilling. That would make a check with your alchemy tools.
What attribute do you want?
I think we'll go with intelligence.
Cool.
Alright. Yeah, after some time, as the others, finish their meals and curl up to sleep, you manage to distill one tiny little vial of some kind of poison that came from the Varrock. Some kind of spore, you think.
Wait, what did you say?
This
Big
was for Immunit. Did you hear me?
Oh,
Yeah, I heard you. You're good. Is there an approximate amount for arrows, or just that she just got a tiny vial, so one use?
It looks like maybe 2 uses.
Okie doke.
I mean,
And-
thank you so much for the help. By the way, I would have been dead without you.
She nods. You're welcome. That expends all of my Varrock blood, correct?
Yeah, that should.
Do you need any more?
I mean, if you have some, yeah, I can try to make poison for people with arrows.
Oh, yeah, well, I'll just make dried meat of the rest of it that I'll just take out of my bag. I think it's 7 chunks of rock meat.
That's what you wrote down. But if it's from your
Yep.
bag, at this point, not in the bag of clothing, it's all turning into sludge.
Should work.
You really should keep that in here. It'd be a lot better.
Well, I think this was for Metru. No, maybe not. Yeah, before. Puts it back in the bag. Should be good for later, though.
Note to self: never eat Kurt's cooking again.
I mean, rotten blood shouldn't be any difference, should it? I mean,
Well,
it's
you
poison.
can't even tell where it's blood and where it's was meat. It's all this turning into sludge in the without the bag of clothing.
Yeah. I don't think anyone is gonna try to loot my bag.
Yeah, they'll just find sludge on their hands.
Okay.
So, what do the rest of you guys do
Just
for the
don't keep-
evening? Anything else? Well, I heard what Athnar's doing. I heard what Amunet's doing. Kurt was cooking. The NPC. I told you what the NPCs are up to.
Charles
Anything
just
else?
resting,
Okay, Charles is
not
resting.
doing anything special.
Latchop's not doing anything special.
Alright. So, who's going on what watch?
Aminette could take first.
Alright, so you're doing that as you're distilling your vials?
Yeah, we'll say that.
Efnor will take the last two because he's elf and can do that.
Char will
With,
take the second watch then.
Okay. Yeah. Alright. Roll perception checks. First watch. Alright. Yeah, the evening passes by, quietly. Your boats, because the water is still, stay where they're at. You're gonna drag them up on shore anyway, but there's no water lapping at them to pull them down again. Alright, second watch. You're still a bit woozy from the attack, even though you've healed up.
How am I rolling so low? I have a +10 for crying out loud.
But you are,
I mean-
you don't see anything in the dark. You don't sense anything. It's just, it could be because you're so woozy. Third watch. Yeah, you
Uh-oh.
see nothing. You're distracted by your stones. They're fun to play with.
Uh-oh.
And again, nothing much going on out there. The evening, or what you think of as evening, passes by quietly. It's now been 60 days since you guys, the NPCs and Kurt escaped from the prison. Amunette whispers.
Mm.
So, during the night after your shift, when you're fast asleep, and while these guys are, kind of failing their watch checks and not noticing you in your sleep, you begin to have dreams again. Although this time it's not of the tower, but you see the your fungal lady just kind of appear before you again from a distance, with inside of what looks like a forest of mushrooms, but not like what you saw in the Neverlight Grove. These are of a different consistency, and clearly not in some underground space. It's hard to describe, but you see kind of a black, cloudy, black kind of smoky sky, and in the distance you see what looks like waves of some kind of substance, although clearly not mushroom and clearly not a liquid, but behaving a bit like a liquid in the distance. And she kind
Can
of...
she, like, perception to try to get any more info?
Sure.
Okay. I'll whisper it.
No, your entire focus is dragged immediately away from that
Yeah.
scene and towards the fungal lady. She's like peering down at you from her statuesque height. It's like, you are leaving me again, child. You should come back.
No, I shouldn't. She'll just gaze back at her.
You're heading towards the ooze. Towards my hated enemy. And he might consume you. He and his minions.
I would imagine she would know who she is referring to.
Yeah, that would be,
Jubilex.
Yeah, his pronunciation is really difficult for me. I'm horrible with pronunciations. But yeah, Jubilex. Yes. where you're headed now heads close to Jubilex. There is one that, if you wish to hinder Jubilex, you should consider taking care of while you're there.
And who might that be?
They call themselves now the Pudding King. They live in tunnels in a place known as Blindenstone.
You cut out. What was it?
It's like they live now in tunnels in the place known as Blingdenstone. I'm terrible at pronunciation, like I said. You might hear rumors of him. But yes, if you can find this Pudding King and put him down, that would be most appreciative, child.
She just stares. She won't say anything.
You would prefer the ooze to win? The all-consuming, disintegrating ooze?
I would prefer that both of you wouldn't. I would love to see you both return back and rot away.
But I am rot, child. I am the ever-rat. She reaches out towards you, and that's when you wake up.
Welcome back.
So, by the time you guys are starting to wake, Amunet's...
Yeah, I'm gonna follow suit like last time and see what happens. Yeah, she's fine. She wakes up. Get everybody together. The group. Whoever's sleeping around her. Get everybody together.
Kurt is still sleeping.
Jar stretches and looks at her. Something wrong? Something wrong? Yeah?
Wake up!
Grace drops hers, and Megan is kind of like off to one side, like, working on her sword.
Oh, evil lost power.
Ooh.
Avner is awake and just looks at Amunet. What's up?
So we're moving away from one of the demon lords, and we're heading towards another.
Are you kidding me?
I mean,
you know that we have another demon lord in the city that we're heading towards. They apparently have come out from the Abyssal Plane and are here on the material.
do you know which one it is?
Jubilex.
Do I know which one that is?
He is the demon lord of...
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, she would know. He's the demon lord of oozes and puddings. Or mostly oozes.
And at this point, you hear a voice in your head going, "Oh, that is the one that awoken me." And it's coming, of course, from the ooze that Kurt has around as a friend, Glabagul.
No,
That
I
is the
think.
Awakener.
I mean, the ooze seems dangerous of all of them. I don't know.
You cut off there, Quentin.
The ooze sounds to me like the least dangerous one of them all.
Well,
So I don't know.
One thing that I do know is the demon lords don't get along. They're at each other's throats. Jubilex and Zigtamoy are bitter rivals and enemies. She has an alliance, apparently, with some or not so much an alliance, but she knows of one called the Pudding King that could take down Jubilex.
Pudding King.
Never mind.
He sounds friendly. Why don't we go meet him?
And
The Babagul says, "Ooh, that sounds like a friendly person. Someone who is king of puddings."
Yes.
This kind of wriggles a bit.
Yes, but you're the Lord of Jellies.
The king of pudding is called Grimes.
Didn't puddings eat two of the party members though? Jubilex points out.
The puddings.
I don't want to remember that.
I don't know.
Who got eaten?
It was black puddings that ate two of the earlier party members. It was let's see. It was the odd cleric and the
No.
foolish.
Be quiet.
Artificer. No, artificer. That's right. That's what it was.
Mouth. Shut.
I don't have a mouth. You know this, Kurt. How do you not know this? It's stuck in your head. I don't have a mouth.
Sorry, I thought it was logical because you have eyes.
Well, yes, I think the eyes are, and then it kind of like quiets for a moment as if it's trying to struggle.
Yeah, see, you don't even know.
I think they belong
could-
to something I ate before I awoken. There. It just became a part of me.
Okay. So, are we going to Ublex or are we doubling back now? Or is there a third option?
Jim Jar kind of looks around and goes, "Well, we're heading to the Blingin Stone. We're heading back to my home. I don't know who or what this Puddingkin is, or the Jubilex you're talking about, but yeah, we could probably find some help there at least. You know, or maybe I mean it's crazy. Yeah. Maybe I'm getting a bet on that."
I'm gonna put my hand on his shoulder, like, yeah, they've probably all been eaten by users by now.
No. I don't think that's right. Yeah, no.
He's not in the city per se. He's underneath the city. Or that's what the DM clarification. The Pudding King is underneath the city.
You weren't told specific information. You're saying somewhere nearby or around the city.
Just said tunnels under Blingenstone.
Tunnels in and around. Considering that you're in the Underdark, that
Okay.
has less.
It could mean a whole lot of shit.
Yeah.
What? Tunnels in the Underdark? Where?
You're in one now. It's a river tunnel.
Oh shit.
I mean,
Jim.
you
Jim Jar.
Yeah.
Your home have a lot of smoke in the sky.
No. It's just more of the same. He kind of points up towards the cave. You know, it's underground. It's just rock up there, and sometimes there's lights and whatnot, little mushrooms and artificial things. It's nice.
Nothing. No industry in your area, though.
Well, we have let me think. Well, we do
Would
have
there be?
We do have various guilds. We've got miners guilds. We got
No. I'm talking large industry that would create a lot of smoke.
We're not dwarves. Yeah, we're not Durgar. We're not dwarves. We don't do that. We mine, yeah, but we don't have major industries. We're not like Grackelslag or anything like that. Or
Wow. The vision that I had, the city was encompassed in black smoke and some sort of waves of a substance, some liquid-like. I could not see. I was distracted.
Well, that doesn't sound right to me. I mean, most of our city is in tunnels. It's not something that you would see an entire city covered in smoke. You know. It's underground. We're not laid out like you surface dwellers.
I don't know then. Well, should
Are
just
these things normally visions of the future or things that are currently happening? I asked. I mean,
uh things that are happening or have already happened. I mean, I'm assuming these have. They're in the present. For the one that shows me knows that I'm where I'm moving to.
I chime in from the boat saying maybe it's a burning city.
Possibly. I just saw smoke. A black smoky sky.
mean, I don't. If either direction we're going is going to be a demon lord, we might as well go
There
to the city.
I agree. I'm just letting everybody know that there's other things. I mean, I've noticed a very strong demonic presence everywhere in the Underdark. It's lessened a little bit, but I fear that the closer we get to the city, the stronger it will get.
Athnar,
Mm-hmm.
roll a history check. Alright. We're good.
Yeah.
Keep going.
Let's just go, guys. The longer
Just
we
letting you
wait,
know.
the worse it's gonna get.
And I'm not
Or-
crazy, Jim Jar. She'll shoot him a look. And she'll walk on.
I don't. I just don't assume she's crazy because I'm pretty sure she can kill me. I'm just like, yeah, I'll believe her.
Well, it's just kind of how I think, you know.
Let's just go and see. Worst case scenario, we run.
Yeah, I suppose. I just really hope nothing happened in my home. I mean, it is close to the surface, right? Yeah, that's where you guys are going. You guys wanna get out of here? And he looks back at
Yeah.
I'm not sure about her. She's kind of here, I guess. Was she? Never mind. Yeah. Get you guys to the surface then. Yeah, that's right. So, what would you guys like to do?
Go to the city. Everyone for, or does someone want to do someone else? Something.
No.
Well,
I'm
first of
for
all, I
this.
pray to Bahamut and allot my.
Well, I mean, I would really just want to get out of here, but I'll happily lead you where you need to go. You would get lost without.
But I can do that on the boat. So I just sit up in the boat and I start praying. Praying to Bahamut for safe passage and good wealth.
Forward then.
Yeah.
Alright. So, everyone's gotten their long rest in, which is good. And it's time to move on some more. And once you
And
set
then
off,
someone else.
and once you guys are set off, once it gets to the next evening, I have to see Shuttle again. Hello.
So she's gonna relay all that information regarding Jubilex and the Pudding King, and she's going to, how do I say it? Is it Quar?
Quare, however you want to pronounce pronounce it. I'm terrible with
Quar.
pronunciation, even for names that I've created myself.
So she's gonna seek guidance on how to move forward.
Hello, child. What can I help you with today?
The fungal queen has taken over the Neverlight Grove and has some sort of wedding of plans with some possible immortal being. I'm not quite sure. But where we go towards Blingenstone, apparently another demon lord lies. Jubilex.
Ah. That is troubling.
And I seek your guidance on what to do moving forward.
Well, that is an interesting question. You are, your mission was dealing with something to do with the fungus queen, yes? But you decided to run away from her. You were drawn here to deal with her.
No, not run away. We were seeking alliances, an army to take her down.
Ah, good then. And that is what you might find in Blindenstone, and that is the answer to your question.
Is the army with the people of Blingenstone, or is it with another demonic force?
That will be up to you, whether you wish to entrust a demonic force to it. But as for army, Blindenstone in and of itself does not have one. To find an army that is not of demons, you might have to go to the surface. That itself might be trouble. There are more forces than just the Fungus Queen on the move right now.
What else is on the move?
Part of the terrible power that released these demon lords in the first place.
You broke up a little bit.
Part of the terrible power that released these demon lords in the first place.
Okay.
I can sense them on the move as my domain sits above the abyssal. In a way, it's part of a demiplane that connects the abyssal, the infernal, and celestial. But no can move without my say-so. And if something were to happen to me, it would simply cease to exist, which means they cannot use it as a passageway to each other's domains. So I do notice that demon lords are coming through onto the material plane.
I follow your guidance, mistress. And thank you for your gifts.
You feel the
I will seek.
the skeletal fingers of the goddess of death touching your face. Do not be too worried. But you are being led in the correct path.
Towards the surface, then.
If that is what you wish, but hear me. I will not. I will not be displeased if you decide that you wish to assist another demon lord to take down a demon lord that has troubled you for a long time.
I will never align myself with demons ever again.
Good. I am pleased at that. I'm just saying I will not be displeased if you decide otherwise. It is your choice. Go in peace.
Death be with you.
Granted, it's what so.
Yeah,
Exactly.
exactly. That's what I was about to say. Like, it still hits. It just doesn't hit your target.
Something.
It hits the wall. It hits the floor.
What are we talking about?
Nothing.
Yes, it's arrow.
Just my arrows. Don't worry. What creepy vision did you have tonight, Aminette?
She was simply communing this time. She didn't seem to be having a dream. She was just simply communing.
Right. You said that you wanted to go to the surface then, right? Somebody's.
That's most of the people's plan, yeah.
I mean,
Into this.
was planning on sticking around, but if it's gonna be a demon-infested area, I might need to, relocate.
And Megan pops out at this point saying, yeah, and we all, she kind of gestures to herself, Vault, Grishtrap, and Holly, all need to get back to the surface. We're headed for Zaladin.
Same here.
Then to the surface we shall go.
And they all kind of nod to each other.
I hope. It's off the surface we go.
Wait, we're going surfing?
We'll probably die before we get there.
Hey ho, hey ho, hey ho, hey ho.
You guys are hilarious.
Aminette will sheath her, and put her crossbows away.
I stay close to Eminette because she saved me and I'm in her debt.
So who's currently in the lead, basically?
Oh, Kurt is taking the lead now. We're walking, not taking a boat anymore.
Mm-hmm.
There's no place to walk. After a little while off the boat, you notice that it narrows back into a water tunnel. Unless you wish to find a different, search around for a while to find a thing. Oh, wait, no, you guys were on the water already.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so yeah, that would have been yesterday. You learned that.
So, what's happening now?
We're getting back on the boats then, right?
No, you did that yesterday.
Oh,
And
sorry.
so you slept on the boats that night. You're just kind of floating there.
So we take the tunnels to the city now, or is there still boat journey?
Yeah.
That's what I was asking. Who's going to be?
Yes, and I was asking if we were on the boats or if we were walking.
You're on the boats. Sorry.
Alright, so we're on the boats.
Because the boats will take you directly to Blendinstone.
Okay. I think Sir Lancelot is still rowing for us.
Yep. But his player is currently AFK. So who's going to be taking
Said power's back on. He's trying.
He hasn't come back in yet.
I'm sitting there carving a emblem of Bahamut's crest, and I give it to Eminette, and it says, "I present you this token as for my gratitude, and as trying to be noble about this. As long as you hold it, I am in your debt. I owe you a blood debt." And I shall be at your side until I return the favor.
There's no debt need to be paid, but I appreciate your gesture.
Well, I still put it in your hands.
I should take it.
As we're riding the boats down the river, Kurt is just gonna observe the edges of the shore.
Yeah, I'm still needing whoever's in charge to speak up, please.
Yeah.
I think you're getting eaten up. Can you type it, maybe?
He said that we were on boats, and he was in charge of perception for one of the boats.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I couldn't hear because the thing dropped again. Alright, so, person on perception, roll a 1d4. Alright. Okay. So, oh, yeah. That was meant to be a GM roll. Oh Another 2 days go by before the tunnel, which had actually narrowed once again, opens up and begins to, narrow more significantly. Oops. Darn it, I hate when that happens. Alright, cool. Then it begins to narrow more significantly than the boats can handle. Thankfully, you've reached a part where there's a shoreline. And in the distance, you see what looks like gates into some kind of settlement. At this point, Jim Jarrakan looks around at you guys and says, "Well, yeah, we're at home. They're a little bit careful with the outsiders. They kind of get worried that you're gonna hurt them." And then he kind of looks over at Athnar and says, "Yeah, they're gonna be really worried about you. I mean, you're a drow, and they have been hassled by drow for a while now. So yeah, you're gonna have to make yourself seem like you're not a threat to them. Yeah. You're gonna have to be as nice as possible. I'm not gonna let you in."
Oh, sure, yeah. I mean, I'm your neighbor guard, man. I'm the friendliest person you'll ever meet.
Yeah, but you're a drow.
Your friendly neighborhood drow.
Friendly neighborhood drow.
Yeah.
Drows are spider guys. Yeah. You worship the Spider Queen.
Yeah, she's quite nice. But when she's not trying to get you killed.
You mean eat you? She eats you. Yeah. I know all about her. Anyway, yeah. Let me try to do the talking and see if they'll let us in. Yeah. And he gets off the boats. The humans and the goblin kind of join him. The goblin kind of stands behind Holly, and they start heading towards the gates.
Amanet's going to be very alert, always looking around, and she is currently tracking fiends, so she's going to be on alert for any hinky business, demon-related.
Alright. How far up does your senses go?
Let's see. I don't think it has a range on it. Let me see. It just says since I'm tracking fiends that I can't be surprised by them, but I have advantage on survival checks and in checks to recall information. So she would be checking out survival wise to see if there's any remnants or signs of demonic.
Okay. So
is that a fluffy?
So what you see basically as you're going towards gates is that the gates are actually on a broad terrace, kind of some way above you. There are a bunch of wide set of stairs heading for it. However, they're clearly built for gnomish feet. So Ginger and Grishdrop are fine. They're small. They're fine. Medium and large creatures, not so much. You're having to really work at it to not fall down the stairs. You have to go slow. You have to step, look, sort of thing. But finally, you make it to the main gates. And you see a door made of steel and mithril, inlaid with steel and mithril, with all sorts of beautiful, plated adamantine designs.
Dang, they got some coin.
There's a slight slope on the gate towards the upward side, and it clearly is designed to stop people from easily ramming into it. Clearly a defensive measure. Outside, there are 8 deep gnomes. They all kind of stand at attention, watching as everybody begins to arrive. Jim Jar kind of puts on a great smile and says, "Hey, we're trying to get in here, okay? Think you can let me and my friends in? Yeah, clearly I'm a deep gnome, so, I live here. These are my friends. Yeah, I know one of them's a drow, but, it'll be okay. We're actually fleeing from drow. They took some of us prisoner, and this guy just kind of well, he's with us, so just let him in. Okay. And you see one of the guards just kind of narrow his eyes at Jim Jar and kind of like whisper towards somebody and says,
I'll give him a very friendly wave and smile.
roll a persuasion check.
Good. I have expertise in all charisma skill.
Oh, of course you do.
Go Bard, yeah.
Shady biz.
So the even though you're clearly a drow, the deep gnome just looks at you and goes, oh, okay. Looks back at Jim Jar and kind of folds his arms a bit and it's like, yeah, well, I suppose it checks out. But we're gonna need to escort you, okay? Especially if you're fleeing from the drow. We're gonna bring you to talk to somebody. Our chief, he's gonna need to hear about this if you're fleeing from drow. And kind of looks over towards another member of his contingent, just kind of nods his head. And, you see a couple of the deep gnomes kind of separate out and start cranking, but pounding at the gate at certain points, and then the gate begins to crank open. You need to follow us. You're gonna get lost in the maze otherwise.
Sure. I don't want to get shanked. I'm good. I'll follow.
Courteous following.
Let's follow.
I'm following.
Almanac follows.
Char follows.
So as you're led through the gate and down some more stairs, you discover yourself in a twisting, turning path with 10-foot-high walls studded with nails. Looks like it'd be very difficult to climb these. But after a while of being led this way and that way, clearly the deep gnomes know where they're going. You find yourself at another gate, and you see flanking the gate are 2 stone towers embedded in the cavern walls. As the guard kind of gets close to the gate, he kind of waves a hand up towards the towers and says, "All right, they're with me. We're heading to talk to the chief." And at that point, another gate starts cranking upwards, revealing the rest of the city, or at least pieces of it that you can see from this vantage point.
Can I tell Ignis to get in my backpack?
Sure.
Well, yeah, I tell Ignis to get in my backpack and
You already did.
yeah.
And so Ignis has just
And
kind
then-
of climbed in there and curled up. Yeah, so, you're getting a few weird looks as people are as the guards actually finally take notice of the fact that there is a gelatinous cube with you. They at first, pull out a weapon as soon as they notice it, and then realize that it's kind of between Kurt and someone else. And
I'm giving them the eye. I'm giving the stink eye if they try to approach it.
it's that's a small gelatinous cube, and how is it tamed?
He's not tamed.
One of them kind of cries out as apparently Glabagal talked in its head and didn't share whatever it said with the rest of you. It's like, ah!
Don't freak them out.
The eyes and the cube just kind of roll around, looking towards Kurt, looking towards the soldiers, looking back. And the soldiers just kind of back up a bit. And, it's the weirdest thing I've ever seen. Alright, so
It's even weirder.
you leave the dark tunnel behind and step into what looks like another world. There aren't sinister drow caverns or harsh bare stone, but a subterranean land of warm colors and welcoming smells. The deep gnomes you see going about their business glance up at you with suspicion, but you instinctively understand that you face no real threat here. One of the guards escorting you abandons his severe frown to give a deep nod as he prompts you past the inner gate. Welcome to Blindenstone, travelers. And I mean, from your point of view, it looks nothing like that weird vision that you saw.
Awesome.
Now you're being escorted somewhere. This map is out of order. I need to find it. Hold on. So, after a few more twists, turns, and you're like walking through the nice vibrant colors of this, subterranean settlement, you find yourself at some kind of palace or provisional or other form of governmental building here in Blindenstone. 24 or so, I can never pronounce the name, so deep gnomes occupy this well-lit cavern, some moving briskly with messenger pouches in hand, while others huddle around several stone tables covered in maps and other papers. They talk in hushed, serious tones. The back of the room is dominated by a dais carved from the rock of the cavern, atop which rests 2 stone desks facing each other. 2 deep gnomes, one male, one female, sit behind the desks, conferring with advisors and each other. They turn their attention to you as you enter. So, the guards just kind of like escort you in, and kind of nod towards the 2 people at the desks up above, and say, Chief, sorry, voice. Chief
Need some water
Dorbo.
there?
What?
I say you need some water there?
No. Sorry, you're interrupted when I was in the middle of saying something.
Sorry.
Chief Dorbo, these outsiders say that they have been hunted by drow somewhere outside the city. At which point, the 2 deep gnomes just kind of look at each other and then look down towards the rest of you. Hold on a second. I want to make sure I got... Sometimes these names, I can't tell who's who on there. And, like, one's male, one's female. Which one is which? One second. I lost track of which one was which. Sometimes I wish my memory was better than that. Or that they had a useful table saying, male, female, gah! Okay, there we go, found it. And they kind of look at you and, we're not looking for trouble here. But if you're looking to reach the surface and get away from the drow, we can help. Unfortunately, I can't spare anyone to guide you. We have a bit of a problem here ourselves. And he kind of looks down and, finally spots the ooze on you, and his eyes just kind of go wide and go, what is that thing doing here? And gestures right at Glabagal. You brought a gelatinous cube in here?
He's fine.
And the guards that kind of escorted you kind of look around, look at the ooze, and look back up at the chief and go, well, this one seems to be tame. And you kind of see a look of horror across both of the leaders' faces at that point. And kind of like groan softly.
Kurt steps between them and Glabagal, but basically just stands in front of Glabagal.
Alright. You better keep that thing on a short leash then.
No, I don't think it would do any good to put a leash on it. It would just, acid, burn it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean. Look, if we can get some help here, we might be able to free someone up to guide you out into the surface.
All right. What help do you need?
Well, and he kind of like glances down towards the ooze, at which point the other deep gnome, the female, steps up. And, she looks at the ooze, she kind of makes a face, and then kind of looks at the rest of you and says, "Yes, speaking of oozes, there are rumors that some monster or magic somewhere in the northwestern part of our settlement might be responsible for growing more and more of these," and she gestures towards the ooze. "We've been having quite a problem with them lately. If you can go back and find information, or perhaps even take care of the problem, we might be able to pay you, and we might be able to free someone up to take you out of here, possibly." And then the other one kind of nods and says, "Yes, well, we could also use some more warrens freed up for living space for hard-working... I can never pronounce it. I'm going to say deep gnomes. And if you can recover the house center in the middle of it, that would be most appreciative." And at which point the female kind of grimaces and says, "Yes, but the were-rats there are still decent citizens. Just because they've been cursed," and you kind of groans and says, "Were-rats aren't our citizens anymore. They are fiercely territorial and very violent, and they keep passing along the curse to other hard-working deep gnomes. They need to be taken care of right away." Now it's on you guys.
You got a rat infestation?
Were-rats, yes. And the female sighs next to him and says, "Yes, well, they're inflicted with lycanthropy. We just need them to agree to share the space with regular deep gnomes instead of either infecting them or driving them out."
What would I know about lycanthropy?
Roll an Arcana check.
Oof.
Ah. You know quite a bit.
You know everything.
You know that while it is mostly considered an infliction, it can also be naturally born. That basically once someone's infected, they will turn at the Pool of the Moons, which really isn't seen down there in the Underdark. There are various kinds of lycanthropy. The most prevalent one on the surface is werewolves. However, the most prevalent one in the Underdark is were-rats. Were-rats usually affect smaller creatures, however, much like werewolves will affect medium-sized creatures. But smaller creatures like halflings and deep gnomes and gnomes, that's more of a were-rat thing. Were-rats are kind of territorial. They'll work in groups. Once the lycanthropy curse is settled into them, if you're just bitten by a were-rat, if you haven't fully become a were-rat, not simply transforming into one, but it's believed, as far as you can tell, given your check there, that most were creatures, or at least the evil ones, or the ones that are considered evil, the curse cements itself and becomes fixed to the person once they've killed under the influence of their condition. However, natural born ones are simply natural born. They're not afflicted by anything. However, they tend to act in certain ways anyway, and they can potentially pass along a curse depending on them.
So
yeah.
Things the ones that haven't gotten.
It can be cured with major restoration if you get bitten or just cursed with it. If once you turn, it'll need higher powers.
Yeah. Okay. So, but if I understood it correctly, if someone gets bitten, they're first cursed, and then they turn.
Right. They'll turn eventually under the Pool of the Moons.
Okay. But so are these natural born, or?
No, of course not. The male says, these are all cursed and degenerate individuals. They've lost their humanity.
How far it has gone?
Oh, I we have no idea how many more there are. That will be part of your job if you choose to accept the mission.
Well, kind of a grey area.
Yes,
I'm
welcome back,
alright
Evil.
with going after the oozes.
Well, I mean, if these, well, were-rats do not seek to share this area with the people of this city, the entire city will sooner rather than later be overrun by were-rats.
This is true.
So, I think we need to find out whether or not were-rats are organized, or if they are just, turned to more feral.
I just seek to move through. I'll defer to you what we do. We need to move.
Oh. That's okay. That's okay.
Let's pray to Bahamut that the were-rats are not feral.
Well, yes. If they can be reasoned with, then I don't see any problems. But otherwise,
Did
exterminate the job.
Kurt relay this information to us about how they turn and render permanently?
Nope.
Okay.
Do you ask him?
I mean, I wouldn't know there was a difference. Kurt, what do you know exactly about these were-rats?
I relay the information. There you go.
I'm gonna ask the king and queen, or whatever their titles are, if anyone has died from them yet. From the
The king kind of responds with, "I'm sure there have been unreported deaths over there," and you see the queen just kind of shaking her head, saying, "We don't know for certain if they are that violent. All we know is that they are controlling their territory, and he over there," she gestures towards the king, "would prefer to reclaim that territory for our people rather than let the Virach rejoin society."
Well, are you guys okay with walking into a were-rat infested area and finding out whether or not if they play nice or not?
Yeah.
I mean, to be honest, this is probably gonna be a base.
It's worth a shot.
I mean, if we're coming back here with reinforcements, be the place we come to. So probably best it's okay down here.
Yeah.
So, point direction of the were-rat controlled districts, and we will head off. West, did you say?
Jim Jar at this point kind of pipes up with, "We really should get a rest in first. We can always start off tomorrow. Why don't we why don't we go down to the foaming mug? Okay, it's an inn. It'll be really good for some guests of you guys, and it's been reopened in the last year, and it should be pretty good."
Wait a second. Foaming mug, foaming, rabies, were-rat. This is a plot.
What? No!
Yes, sure it is.
What is this rabies you speak of?
Were-rats are industrialized.
Rabies, you see. No idea.
Yeah, you're weird.
The rabies, the were-rats are industrialized. They're starting to take over the service industry.
Let's go to that tavern, guys. Let's take a rest and then get murdered by rats.
Let's go to the foaming
Let's
mug
go.
before we die.
There, that's the spirit.
We won't die.
No, we have a
Probably.
gelatinous cube.
Yeah, we will
Ignis
kill
probably
each other.
Ignis pops his head out of the top of the bag. He says, "What? You say where rats?" In Draconic. All you hear is chittering for the ones who don't understand Draconic.
Yeah, just keep in mind it is a baby, so it's not speaking in full sentences yet. Probably say word.
I know.
There.
There's were rats. I love were rats.
Yeah, that's a sentence. It would just say where rat, where rat.
Oh, yeah, that's better. Sorry.
Well, it's okay. So, Jim Jar kind of leads you off towards the place referred to as the Foaming Mug, and you see before you, a nice little inn. It looks like it's actually sized for visitors of your size. Instead of if you look around, you'll notice the occasional house with a door that's definitely sized for a gnome. Which, definitely the big guy over there, pointing at Lancelot, would never fit into. Whereas this door, yeah, it's sized for medium-sized people, which means that you basically just have to duck under to get in.
I beg to differ. Enough violence you can get in any door.
That's the spirit.
This is true.
You might be able to put your foot through a gnome door, but you don't think you fit your shoulders through one.
You put your right foot in.
If I break the wall down, then I can fit.
Yeah, but that's not a door now, it's just a wall.
It's a doorway.
hole.
Sorry.
And
Alright, so as you enter in, it's dark and it's not completely dark. It's not like, without light completely. It's just, dim light and cozy. There's even a small fire crackling and a fireplace, and there's plenty of places to sit at the bar, at tables that are, both medium and small sized. And I imagine that Sir Lancelot could take up 2 stools. At the counter is a female deep gnome, and she smiles broadly at you. It's like, "Oh, visitors!" And she's speaking in common. It's like, "Ah, come, sit, please."
Efnar is going to the powder.
You say going to the pub?
No, to the powder room, the
Okay.
toilet.
Yeah, I couldn't tell what you said. I'm sorry, it cut off.
He's going to use the disguise kit and put way too much white on his face so he looks like a normal elf and not like a dark elf.
Yeah, you're white. You're going white face rather than black face, huh?
oh my god.
Okay, now I'm reminded of the movie White Chicks. I've never seen it, but I saw the previews for it. Anyway. Yeah, Actor probably looks like that. I take it somebody who's actually seen the movie instead of just the previews.
Yeah. I can just imagine a dark elf going, "Hold my poodle! Hold my poodle!"
Anyway. Anyway. So, yeah, she didn't seem to take any notice of this. She's just busy staring at all of you and then just staring up at Sir Lancelot. Going, "Holy...
He's staring down.
I have never seen one like you. What are you exactly?"
Bugbear.
Wow. Are all bugbears as big as you?
Some smaller, some taller,
Wow. Okay.
some wider, some thinner.
I don't think I can imagine that. Not bigger than you. I mean, you're... wow. You'd probably make 3 of me at least. Well, welcome to the Foaming Mug. My name's Tappy Foamstrap. What can I get for all of you? I mean, rooms, I take it? I have a few surface foods and beverages. I don't get too much stripment, but we do occasional trade with Ithan. And Holly perks up at this and says, "Ithan, that's where I'm from." And she and Holly talk for a minute as you guys figure out if you want anything.
Yeah, I'm gonna get some food.
Alright, you guys are getting rooms, right? I can, if you talk to me for a while, I can give you some drinks and food on me. I haven't had any interesting surface dweller guests in a while.
Sure.
Kurt is going to pay for the rooms. How much is that for everyone?
just double checking to make sure they don't have any special prices.
Yeah.
Do you guys? Oh, well, that'll be a silver each, if you don't mind.
How many of us are there? Just players.
Let's see. There are
6
5
of us, but
NPCs and 6 of you, so that's 11.
so yeah, that's
Is she?
1 gold and 1 silver.
Thank you kindly. She just kind of takes the silver and pockets it and smiles and starts pouring out drinks. So tell me about yourselves. You're a dwarf, and she looks right at Kurt.
You noticed?
You look like a surface dwarf, or close to the surface. Someone that actually goes out on the surface occasionally, right? Right?
Oh yeah. I grew up in Kola.
Oh, that's way to the south, I believe. If my memory is
Yeah. Small mining town.
Wow, how did you get all the way up here?
Well, I fell down into a hole. Got an interest in this place. Stayed.
Oh well, that's great. That's mighty great of you. And she kind of pushes the a thing of ale in front of you. I don't think I have any food from Kolar. I've got some food from Ithan and a little bit from Zaladin, which perks up some of the others in the group. And of course, there's plenty of stuff here in the Underdark. Is someone's cat hissing at the mic?
Huh?
Never mind. So what about the rest of you? Where are the rest of you from?
Me from Celadon.
Alright. And she starts pushing out drinks every time somebody answers.
Afnar is gonna go. I'm from Zeladin. I'm from a small elven village in the mountains, where we live from the food of the local people there.
At which point
it's a beautiful place.
At which point Megan and Volt are both glaring at you. Thankfully for you, this woman has no idea what the surface of Zaladin actually looks like and doesn't realize there aren't any mountains that would service this.
Char's also just glaring at him. It's like,
free drinks.
Oh.
Just
The beautiful glades of the elven people, where we solop around and prance like the pretty people we are.
Megan comes up behind you and just kind of, this 13-year-old girl who looks like, tough and a bit battle-hardened, just kind of, comes up towards you, Athnar, and, glares at you. She's holding her short sword, and she kind of, presses it to your belly and says, if you say one more word about the elves, I am going to have to do something unfortunate to you.
Aww.
And make a perception check, please, Athnar. Alright, so, looking down at this girl, you've just kind of assumed human, because she's got the normal human rounded ears. But there's something about the deep blue of her eyes and the, certain sets of her face and just this, just the way her eyes look. You can tell she definitely has some elf in her.
Don't be so serious, girl. I'm just joshing around.
I'm gonna look at Avnar.
So my cousins would not stand for that.
Oh, he does. He actually does recognize it's Avnar.
Avnar.
Maybe we'll meet and we can talk it out. I'm a very persuasive man. I'm sure you guys have story about us as well, so only fair play.
Did someone paint his face?
Lagwul seems actually quite happy to be enjoying the ale. At which point the tavern owner just kind of stares at what Kurt's doing. He's like, what? That looks like a gelatinous cube. What is that doing
It is.
in here? What?
Drinking.
What?
Oh, that's Gabapoo.
Yeah, you got close
Gabagool.
enough.
Gabagool says inside all of your minds, including the the owner. At which point she looks very startled. That
Don't
thing
worry.
has eyes. It's looking at me. What?
Don't
It
worry.
turned to my head.
Don't worry.
She just kind of pours herself a thing of ale and just drinks it down.
Oh,
Jim Jarvis is kind of sitting there just chuckling.
don't worry. Glabagool is fine. He almost ate Draco once, but that's fine.
I just raise up my hand and say I'm Draco from Waterdeep.
There's no such place as Waterdeep on this world.
Oh well, we didn't discuss where I was from, so that I don't have a home. I left home and forgot about it.
There's a handout for some of the locations in the area.
I don't have it. Oh wait, there it is. Hold on.
You're probably from Zaladin. I don't know.
Zeldin, Ithan, there's some other places out east I don't have names for. There's Imlarin to the north.
I guess I'll be Zaladin. Yeah, I'll say I'm from Zaladin.
It makes sense. Bahamut is one of the main gods there, since they have dragon riding is actually a basically the Zelidians are sometimes referred to as the dragon riders because they have a long-standing agreement with an ancient copper and an ancient brass dragon who have helped cement a lot of younger copper and brass dragons among the countryside and basically been teaching them by letting them be ridden on as dragon riders in the battle.
Would I know how to ride a dragon, or
You might, since you're both you have that skill, and you probably were since everybody serves in the military in Zaladin, you probably were military trained at one point.
cool?
But anyway, so a lot of Zelidians here today, I guess. She said after a while, now calming down from the experience of Glabagool.
Kolar represent.
And you appear to be alone, unless was Duncan from Kolar? No, Duncan. Wait, where was Duncan from?
Zaladin.
Yeah,
Saladin.
yeah, I see he's from Zaladin too. Aww.
What are you on about? You're not from Zaladin.
Yeah, your cat is
Yeah, what
definitely
people-
from Kolar. I hear the accent.
So, how long are you guys staying for? She asks.
But like,
A day or two?
yeah, I paid for this night though.
Yeah.
We'll see tomorrow.
Well, that's good. That's good.
I'm
Sorry.
gonna take an ale for myself as well.
So, anybody want to tell
I
me a
don't know how-
story? She asks, working on getting some stew out.
Oh, it was a. I know one about the fish town.
Oh?
Yeah, it got destroyed.
I think you're not very good at telling stories, my friend.
Yeah,
I
not so
know.
much.
No. Well, I don't think anyone else here was there to see it, so. Me and a couple of friends escaped from Drow, ended up in a fish village. They were going to sacrifice. Yeah, all of us basically.
Wow, how did you get away?
Oh, well, we got lucky. See, this Demogorgon showed up, and they got a little bit distracted.
Okay. What is this?
So we ran.
Sorry for the yawning. So what is this Demogorgon then?
Oh, a big demon thing. With a tentacle for one arm and that's 2 heads. It was fun. Looking back and, surviving.
Did you deal with it? She asks, leaning forward.
Of course not. It's still out there.
She starts passing.
It could come here one day.
She starts passing out the stew.
You know, if you're lucky, it won't come. But if you're unlucky, we're all dead.
Ignis smells the food and pops his head up from my backpack.
Smells good stew.
Yeah, she only gave it to the player. She didn't give any to the to either the dragon or the ooze. Just to the 11 of you guys.
Well, hold on. I mean, I don't think it would really matter. He smells food. He pops his head out.
Yeah, I know. No. My point is, you're gonna have to share if you wish to feed him.
Oh, of course.
I'm just pointing out she didn't give any special bowls to either Ignis or Thabagul.
I look at Ignis and I look at the wait or the barkeep and I ask, "Do you have?"
You completely cut off. I can't hear you at all.
I asked her, "Do you have any charred rare rat?"
And she looks horrified that you would suggest such a thing. We're not cannibals here.
Oh, I apologize. I didn't mean to offend.
She looks horrified at you suggesting that they would have were-rat.
I'm just gonna step up to Draco and try to just put an hand on him. Let me explain, like I can't pronounce that word. Let me explain were-rats to you.
Okay.
Normal person becomes kind of a monster, depending if they go total feral or not. But it's still the person's body, and they can transform. So what you just suggested was totally cannibalism. Which even by is kind of
Oh man.
That's fucked up.
GM is both laughing and baseball at the same time.
I just like silently sip my soup and like feed the bits of meat to Ignis.
The bartender is now just looking at you at afar and is trying to stay as far away from Draco as possible.
The longer you live, the more you learn. I walk back to people.
Efnor's gonna walk up and grab her hand and say, "Fair beauty, don't worry. My friend is very uneducated." Yeah, I know. It's so inappropriate. He should really be more informed. Definitely seeing he's a cleric.
I don't know the other deep. I'm educated. I just don't know the
So you would eat werewolves? Is that your point?
If I had to.
Okay, let's just draw a line here and get over the whole were part. Let's just not name that today anymore. To make it up to you, my fair lady, how about I tell you a story about the greatest elf that has ever lived?
But no, I wouldn't eat anywhere or
Right.
anything. I just
You can tell us a story. That'd be excellent. I'd love
So-
to hear a story.
In one of the darkest places one can imagine,
my
a
mind.
drow city, where a young boy was born in an unruly family in poverty and in disgrace, where he had to work every day on the corner to try and make ends meet, and you know how stingy those damn drow can be. He had to work for it, he had to sing the song, sing the accolades of every single drow that passed him by, to just scrounge about the littlest amount of money to make ends meet, to make sure his family had food because his mom was sick and his dad wasn't there anymore. And every day he did that until one day his mom just passed away. And that day he decided that he would leave the small, terrible Drow city behind, and he would be nook and cranny about this beautiful world and this
You
beautiful
broke up
place.
at Drow City behind.
He will leave that stingy, old, ugly, terrible Drow city behind, and he would go and travel the world, see many beautiful places. He went to the surface and saw the mountains, the sky, the moon, the stars, everything that is up there that is beautiful and magnificent to one's eye. He learned to play music, he learned to laugh, he learned to make friends, and then he went back down to show his people what they were missing out on. But as the Drow are and always will be, they will never understand the beauty that is the world and that is love.
Roll a performance check.
Good expertise. Oh wait, I'm not expertise in performance. That's okay.
She seems to be smiling through your entire story anyway, taking it in, kind of listening. Her elbows up on the counter.
I throw an elfin smile at her.
And she smiles back. Wow, that was an extraordinary story. Hello, Lyra. How you doing, my sweet cat? So, you originally... So that... okay, now I've lost my train of thought. My cat just jumped up on me. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. Alright. So, she's smiling at Athnar. What are the rest of you guys doing?
I'm trying to explain to the table how I'm not a cannibal. How I thought were creatures were just giant, like cursed creatures of the normal animals. Like I thought a werewolf was a wolf that's been cursed.
Volt looks at you at this point and says, "That would be dire creatures." And he just starts shaking his head.
Oh.
I'm gonna roll an insight check to see if he's actually cannibal.
By the way, you suddenly hear the sound of applause filling the bar, even though there's nobody else here.
Wait, what?
There's just the sound of "Yay!" from the story, but there's nobody else in the room.
Afno will take a deep bow. Thank you.
I mean, I've never really eaten a were creature. I just thought that's what they were. And I thought they were edible, so that's why I asked.
And you see that the goblin is even making faces at you.
And this is where Sir Electric goes, well, anything's edible, technically.
Everything is edible once.
Bears don't really care about a lot of things. They're not picky eaters.
God, this party.
I was thinking about saying, this is out of character. I was thinking about saying I ate a bugbear once and just stare like intently at
That was in another game,
Sir Lancelot.
God, everyone is just looking hungrily at each other.
You see Grace-Drop just kind of moving closer to Holly, expecting the priestess to keep her safe.
I'm getting a very Inuyasha feeling coming from that.
I don't actually know Inuyasha, so
there's a pervy priest. There's a pervy priest that joins the group about halfway through, and he's always flirting with women.
Holly is definitely not pervy. She's basically become like a mother figure to the goblin.
Well, I know, but I'm just saying Never mind.
The goblin's it would still be kind of considered somewhat of a child. So
Never mind. I'm just. Never
yeah,
mind.
you're completely misreading the characters here.
Just never mind. I'm already.
What else is everyone doing?
Well, add it to the list.
I might as well just go become Catholic.
Let's write it down.
Wait, guys! I'm gonna save Draco.
You're gonna say.
Oh my god.
That kind of silences the entire bar.
The entire bar is now a silent movie.
Yep, because 20-foot radius.
Oh my god.
That'll make perfect for our audio-based medium.
Yeah, so
Okay,
at this point,
well-
no one can say anything. It's all.
Everyone is playing
silent.
charades.
Yep. They're probably all staring at Aknar.
I'm going like, what? Do you want to talk again?
Hold up a second. Let's see.
Like a good minute.
Oh, I do notice that there's no sound.
I
feel like
imagine
you
you
might
trying
hear
to. Yeah.
Well, to be fair,
It probably does come a lot at your wax.
At this
You
point,
make a candle.
you notice that a couple people are attempting to enter the bar, but as soon as they get into the radius, they're looking around confused, and you can see their mouths flapping, but you have no idea what they're saying.
I'll be nice and I'll drop it for them, but I'll give like a look to Draco, like, be careful.
And all of a sudden, there's just a loud scream of Kurt just being amused by the silence and is just screaming.
Oh.
And I'm like, whoops, sorry.
And the screaming sounds like a cat. Okay.
What?
I just heard a cat meow on one of the things that you said that.
Oh well, it could have been.
Cleo's trying to interject, apparently.
Edie.
Welcome to the festivities. Here we are. Over here we have a dragon, a cannibal, a ooze.
Yeah,
A
they kind of
bugbear
notice
that
the
is way
ooze,
too
and some
big
of
for
them
this
are
place.
Are just kind of stopping and staring at the ooze.
It's a party. Join us.
Blinking its eyes at them, and they're just kind of, trying to decide whether it's okay or not. They look over towards Tappy, and she just kind of waves them in. It's like, come in, sit down. These are some people from out of town. They just came in for some food and drink and are renting rooms.
I mean, you joined the party. Share some stories.
I have a story, if you would like to hear it.
Go ahead.
I remember my first exorcism at a very young age, and I was about maybe 9, and my training priest.
Who was being exercised exactly?
My mother.
Oh.
Oh.
Okay.
This is why I was in the care of the church than my parents.
I mean, that isn't.
Yeah, continue with the story.
My mother was I found out later, was a demon worshiper and has sacrificed my father early in my childhood to summon a ice demon, an ice devil. Tried to basically destroy the cardinal that I was staying with to retrieve me. And they later found a diary saying that she was going to sacrifice me to summon something even more powerful. And I guess try to absorb his power. I don't know. But the priest tried to exorcise my mother, and she ended up basically bursting into flames because the demon would not let her go because she was a powerful warlock. And that was my first brush with not only death, but the demon side of this world. And that's how I lost my parents and became a cleric, because I vowed to not let this happen again.
All right. Do you have any more,
I'm gonna reach my long hand and pat him on the head.
No one
Anyone?
sacrifice small one.
I just smiled. I'm not a cannibal.
Yeah, still not sure about that one. No one has any upbeat stories like you, Lancelot. Like, how did you become a knight?
Oh, I was in my cave. Heard commotion. I look outside, I see silly-looking elves and weird shambly things. Look like people, but stinky. I fight, find armor, put armor on, fight more. They make me knight.
Who?
The town. Zaladin.
What? Saladin.
Yeah, I live outside of it.
Oh,
Nice cave.
the Zaladin's the name of the whole country. Zaladin Prime is the name of the capital city.
Like a small town. I don't know the towns.
Yeah, it's okay. I don't
Probably has
know
it.
if they have names. Small towns in Zaladin.
Small town.
oh. So you're officially a knight.
Yes.
So you're officially a sir.
Yep.
Are you the first bugbear to be a sir?
I don't know any other.
Megan
My family is not.
Megan actually pops up with, "Yep, he is definitely the first bugbear that Zaladin has ever knighted."
I can't reach his shoulder, but I'm slapping him on the side going, good job.
I also found book. Lots of books. Tells me how to be knight.
He kind of pulls out one book, and you can tell it's like a fantasy book. It's just completely made up like children's story.
Does it have words, or is it a picture book?
It has words, just not big ones. It's mostly a picture book.
Right. Well, it probably has good morals.
What?
It's probably a good book.
Very good book. Pretty pictures.
Yes.
He puts it back.
Well, anyone else? Good stories? I mean,
Nothing
we
else
heard,
to play some
we heard from the elf, we heard from the bugbear, we heard from the cannibal.
Megan looks over at Aminette for a moment, kind of judges your demeanor to look at, and then kind of like looks around and says, well, I guess I could tell a bit of a story if you guys want.
Who, Megan?
Yeah, that'd be Megan talking.
Jokingly mock her a little bit. Oh, but what could a child tell a story? Like, you add a few more years and then maybe you have something.
Yeah, I suppose not. All right then. And she, she's reaching for one of the things of ale, which, Volt just kind of pulls over towards the side, hands to Jim Jar. She kind of gives a bit of a glare to him because, apparently the gnome looks at and hadn't realized that she's, a child. And she kind of like mutters something about, I do I do serve in the military. I should be able to drink.
I like go to pat on you again. Yes, you're doing well.
What about you? You didn't tell the story about how you fell in that hole.
I didn't really like the job. Worked with other dwarves, mostly my family actually. One day I fell down through a hole with a couple of others, and we ended up down here. And I had to, help my fellow dwarves get back to the surface. And on the way, I kind of, fell in love with the place.
Did you eat each other?
No, surprisingly, we did not. I actually kind of excelled at finding edible mushrooms, animals that we could eat, and, kind of how I found my calling. So when we get back up to the surface, I kind of signed up for a prospector job and went down further once more. Named Boris, we got captured by some drow and, escaped Fishtown, Demogorgon, madness, stuff.
Madness.
Yeah, and then Boris died.
Shh.
I still don't know how that managed to happen, Megan says. You just talked about it a little bit.
Listen, he made a bad call. Let's not talk about it.
I just sigh, and all this talking about happy memories makes me remember my training in the military. I speak up, like, did y'all know that I used to ride dragons for the military?
Volt kind of looks up at that. Oh. You were a dragon rider? What happened to your mount?
Oh, well, during a skirmish with a rival faction.
That would probably be the Drow, since the Drow's the only ones that Zaladin currently has a war with.
Yes, we were. I was kind of, I guess, dogfighting with a rival faction of Drow, and my mount Zervis. Yeah, he was a bronze dragon, and he took a hit to his underbelly from what's those big artillery crossbows?
Ballistas?
Yeah, ballista.
Ooh,
He took a vital hit to his underbelly from a broadhead from a volley of ballistas, and even though we were transported out of there by a group of wizards, we couldn't save him, and he
Well, I'm sorry
and
to hear that.
I pull out like a necklace of of his two fangs, with his two fangs hanging on it, and I tell him that I found Zephyrus when he was a baby in a cave, and he was.
The GM will correct you on this. In Zaladin, it doesn't work like that. They are specifically raised. And given how long it takes certain dragons to mature, sometimes it's a multi-generational thing. It's like, since you worked for the Temple of Bahamut, it was probably one that had been raised there on the grounds for a while. And then, you bonded at the right time and were given to the military as such.
Zephyrus was assigned to me. Shit, my finger just jammed up. Son of a bitch.
You alright?
But as Zephyrus was a wild. He was wild and couldn't really be. Well, we didn't get along at first. I'll say that much. But after we went down a certain area in the woods, surrounded by the enemy, and I nearly died defending him while he regained consciousness. And after that, we were the best of friends. And that's why I took to Ingus here because he reminded me so much of my dear.
Bolt kind of nods slowly and sips his ale.
I had a horse once.
You had a horse?
Yeah, you were there. I don't know where it went though.
Char just face palms.
I thought that was a pony. The way you oversized it.
Char face palming.
Kurt just like chokes a bit on the ale he just chugged down.
Somehow I managed to miss the name, so I'm not understanding what's funny.
He was saying he had a horse, and Charles was his horse. He doesn't know where the horses though.
We'll find it again. It seems to pop up randomly.
Maybe it's invisible from time to time.
Fancy.
God, don't.
Shh. Let's just have fun.
Horse is a horse.
Char's never
Horse
around to
is
see
horse,
it.
Unless it's a wild-shaped druid, of course.
I just grin and say, have you noticed you've never seen Kurt and that wild horse in the same room before?
Char
Wasn't
and a
Kurt,
wild
that'd
horse.
be her. Char.
Well, Char, my bad, Char.
Maybe Char's afraid of horses.
You know, you look up at Char. Yeah, you're gonna work on that fear of yours.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, but if you were to ask Char up close, he would.
I think we need to just quit horsing around.
Is there loud purring getting to you? Because my cat's currently, my new cat is currently sitting on my chest, stuck
Not
his
hearing
face
it.
right up into the He's a precious mini panther.
Right now, face, of course.
Oh lord.
Yeah, but he's mainly around when
Oh.
I think I fucking can't right now. I just.
Dennis, shut up, Dennis.
I'm sorry.
No, y'all are good. It's just. It's like yeah, it's just part of the course.
Yeah, I'm sorry if laughter hurts.
Oh.
it would behoove you to keep an eye out for it.
All right. Just
Okay,
because you
stop,
have the most.
please.
All right, look, you might have the most puns, but you really need to get off your high horse.
Please stop. Chad,
Sorry, it was just in the spur of the moment.
Oh my god.
I can't, but I'm too deep in the saddle.
I mean,
This is
can't you
bullshit.
can't you just appreciate my unbridled enthusiasm? Alright.
Seems like a tall tale to me. Now we've officially broken anybody listening to this.
Alright, okay, we need...
So it doesn't matter. If they actually spoke on stream, then it would be like, then that would be some.
Yeah, we need to stop.
I guess you could say we are all winning.
Alright, rein it in, people.
Stop horsing around!
That one was already said.
I can't keep track anymore.
I keep track of the amount of horse puns.
Oh boy. I'm out. I don't think I have any more.
Good.
Hold on, let me think of another one just to spite you.
Please don't. There's already been too many.
Don't want to fall over, little guy. Just keep purring. Just keep purring.
Don't encourage them.
Too late, officially encouraged.
No one can stop the
Right.
shuttle.
No, sorry, I can't think of any more. I think I need more coffee.
Let me down, man. Let me down.
Sorry. That last one was a stretch for me.
It's late at night for him. He needs some sleep, not just coffee.
Come on. Let's go to bed and kill some rats tomorrow. Come on.
Puns in
Yeah.
my second language. I'm sorry.
That's for any language, that is an awesome amount of puns. So the fact that it's your second language, that is truly amazing.
We should have like a pun off one day. That'd be hilarious.
I think.
Oh
Yeah,
my
but
God.
then we'll be jockeying for position.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta say though, I think the amount of puns we have has finally subsided, and our stream can now be.
Okay, I missed the end part of that pun. I'm sorry.
Oh
We can
man.
now,
God.
our stream is now stable.
Hey, don't be a naysayer against our puns.
Hey.
Oh,
Nick.
Oh boy.
So, meanwhile, the patrons at the at
I'm getting enough of our horse puns, so they're going to kick us
are
out.
just staring at you. And, they're speaking kind of in undercommon and, like, who speaks undercommon again here?
Curtis.
I do.
So, yeah,
I
those
know.
of you who understand undercommon, hear them muttering, like, what are these weirdos going on about? That's, I can't even tell. They're just talking in common, and I don't understand common. You understand common? No, but they appear to be taking themselves not so seriously. They keep laughing. You see the one guy drinking his ale down and shaking his head and going, maybe they've been possessed by those ghosts out in the catacombs. Yeah, that could explain their weird behavior.
Ghosts?
Curtis.
I say out
I don't
loud
know.
and
Over.
undercommon.
Oh, yes, friend. There's a ghost problem over in the catacombs. Seems to be getting worse every day.
I look up at the waitress and I say, "Can I get a glass of water? Because I'm a little hoarse."
No.
The tavern owner just kind of stares at you for that, and she says, "Well, there's no real clean water, just ale, really."
Then I'll take some ale, please. Thank you.
All right. And she
Hey.
gets you another glass
Hey.
of ale.
Cannibal boy.
That nickname's sticking, you know.
I think this catacomb thing is kind of up your alley.
Well, please tell me more about it.
Do you speak
Sure, I'll
Common?
sit there. I'll translate for him.
Okay.
Thank
So the gnome who's talking about this kind of leans forward and says, "So you don't know about the catacombs? You must be really new here, yeah?"
Basically, the conversation is between them and Draco. I'm just making sure they understand each other.
Yes, I'm new here.
Well,
Please tell me about the catacombs.
well, that's a bit of a story. Yeah, you see, the catacombs are one of the more ancient parts of this city, well, rather settlement. But I mean, it used to be a city, and we kind of eventually retook it, and it's a settlement now. But the catacombs are kind of, yeah.
Haunted?
Well, not just kind of haunted. They're very haunted. Yeah, you see, okay, I'm having trouble locating the catacombs on the map, sorry. Here we go. Found it. Yeah, there's this temple you see, and underneath of it, where the city's honored dead are still resting. the ghosts seem to be taking up more and more resonance. Seems there's a lot of unrest there. We don't really know why it's going on. It's just we keep hearing about it, and it's it's probable that recent things going here in the Underdark have awoken them, and they're just restless. They've been down in that place since before the Drow invasion.
Well, usually when a grave plot is haunted or a tomb is haunted, it usually means that somebody has either disturbed the plot or has desecrated the plot. Too many bodies inside the tomb. So maybe you've been a victim of grave robbers.
Maybe.
Or maybe a necromancer came in and started
And they started
desecrating.
shivering. Yeah, that could be it too. We really don't know what's going on there. It's just kind of worrisome.
Well, Bahamut offers his services to you to restore the tomb to its.
It wouldn't be to me. We're just kind of talking rumors here. Yeah, the temple, is known as Ruby in the Rough. You might want to go there and see if they want your help. They might already have some things in hand,
Of course. Can you please direct me to their, and I will go speak to them about it.
Sure. He gives directions.
Thank you.
Kurt takes a breath and drinks some ale because he's tired from translating.
Sir Lancelot. Does anyone else doing anything?
I think we need rest soon, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we need rest.
Got a job, I think.
Yes, we are going to be checking out a
Help with the were-rats.
Well, the rare rat, and we're going to be checking out a tomb that possibly be desecrated and is haunted.
Right. Well, I'm up for either. I mean, whereas seems to be a problem we need to fix if we're gonna come back here. But tombs, sure, do it before or after whereas. Up to you guys.
After we've dealt with the were-rats, I would say. The were-rats seem to be the biggest problem.
That could be solved like in 5 minutes if they just agree to be decent.
Yeah, unless that guy and Volt will point over towards Draco. Decides he wants to eat them.
No.
I mean, I might.
How many can you eat?
Well, I don't eat humans at all.
I ate a bandit once.
Just slowly turns and looks at the bugbear.
He's a bugbear. They eat what they kill.
Right.
So
I'll make
should
sure
we
to feed
keep
you.
going, or we're going to keep Stallion?
Well, I'm gonna go to bed.
Let's just. Afnar has given up on and is going to take a nap.
I'm gonna go in what is probably gonna be a very small bed compared to the bugbear.
Yeah, the beds
Yeah,
are,
nice
all,
one.
the beds are all medium. They're sized for medium-sized folks. So yeah, the bugbear is essentially the equivalent of what a human would be facing in a gnome bed.
It's like picturing his knees, like his bent at the knees, like off on the floor.
Arms hanging off the sides.
Poor Sir Lancelot, but he's used to this.
It's better than a cave for.
I asked the inn owner if it's possible that my friend can get 2 beds since he's bigger.
unfortunately, we don't have the room for that. We have, like, smallish rooms, and the beds are sized, to fit that sort of room. We really don't have the space to accommodate a second bed slid in like that.
Hmm.
I'm sorry.
It's quite alright. I go into Sir Lancelot's room and I help him. I say, "Look, let's move the frame out of the way, like push it up against the wall, put the mattress, put the bed mat on the ground, and I'll let you use my bedroll to give you a little more room to lay on."
He's already asleep.
I just walk in talking, and he just seems like sleep. I'm like, "Oh, okay." And I turn back to mine and go back to my room.
You're planning it out and everything. Turn around and he's already snoring. Like, oh.
Like, oh, okay, whatever. And then I go to my room and I put my bag on the bed and I open it up, letting Ingus out, let him stretch his wings. And does Ingus know how to fly yet, or no?
He's just a little guy. He's like flaps a little bit, but he doesn't really fly.
Oh. Well, I put my bag on the ground, and I pull out a little notebook and I start trying to design a special bag for him, like made out of like some kind of scale mail that's hard to puncture, and is big enough for him to like move around comfortably in.
Evil, that question be answered by Constitution check.
Huh?
Okay, we'll see.
Alright, so yeah, you don't have the materials to make a bag right now, but eventually you might.
Yeah, but that's why I'm designing it. I'm designing it
Okay,
like
cool.
in a book. I'm like,
yeah, Sir Lancelot, your snores fill the room that you're in.
You can probably hear it like outside the door. That's probably about it.
Yeah. So yeah, you're designing.
Well, everyone gets a decent
what's
sleep.
everyone else doing?
Say again.
What's everyone else doing?
I eventually fall asleep.
Anyone not sleeping? Let's go with that.
Nope.
Yes, it's that damn horse that keeps disappearing. All right, I'll stop.
We'll find him one day. Again.
They will be reunited.
Oh, sweet little guy.
Next time I won't let him go.
Oh boy.
Oh.
Alright, I think we'll wrap this up for today. And see you guys again in 2 weeks.
Tomorrow, right? For some.
Well, yeah, I'm just talking about this game.
Okay.
So hold on. 2 weeks when the other game isn't really going. Why can't we play this game